This giant sky disturbance over Japan was captured on multiple cameras in 2013, so there's little doubt that it is real. The question then becomes not if this happened, but rather what caused it. I think that this was most likely a comet, but others claim this is clearly a failed Russian rocket launch or even a UFO. Watch this part and you can see how the comet becomes very bright as it hits Earth's atmosphere, and then fizzles out quickly. At the same time, I can definitely see how people would think this was a UFO blasting into deep space, or a rocket disintegrating. It does seem to kind of disappear without warning, so let me know which of these three possibilities you think it was. Longleat Castle is a stately home in England, built in the 16th century. It serves as the seat of the Marquess of Bath, and apparently of a ghost. Published by Steve Hugh in March of 2013, this scary video shows the ghost in action. As the lights flicker overhead in a hallway, a shadow figure descends the staircase. You can see the figure's footprints take each step until it arrives at the bottom of the stairs, where it casts a shadow on the hardwood floor. There are clanking noises throughout the entire video and footsteps. They seem to be coming closer and closer to the cameraman, while the shadow moves further and further away. When the shadow figure disappears at the end of the hallway, the lights start flickering there as well. Is this genuinely paranormal? While many in the comments say this is compelling and looks legit, others say that this video is either edited or that it could be a hologram effect at Longleat Castle to freak out guests who visit. What do you think is really going on here? Is this paranormal activity or just a breeze? YouTuber Crossing Guard Paranormal is investigating the Mace Stringer house in Florida, and as he's speaking to a spirit, it appears to breeze right on past him.
Well, that was a full sentence answer, my friend. Thank you so very much. My friend, is there anything that I can do to help you this evening?
Did the air conditioning just turn on? Or is that a spirit?
Is there anything that I could do to help you this evening?
I feel like this movement is too much to be a breeze. I believe there's a ghost within our midst. You probably don't see anything off in the distance, but Sabura Rout has lived in India for many years and is familiar with this train route. He knows where to look and quickly spots something up ahead. Lurking many yards away is a shadowy figure who is up to no good. I will give you one more chance to spot them and save your own life. If you fail, then consider yourself the next easy target. The person waits for the train to pass and launches a rock in hopes of making this YouTuber drop his phone, which he plans to retrieve and probably sell for money. Fortunately, he is ready and dodges it easily. I can only imagine how many people have not been as prepared as him and had their phone fall straight off the train.
And we are hurrying. Luckily, our house has sprinklers. It was built. We've only been in this house for a week and a half, but we're getting everything that's important, and we're getting it out of here.
This scary GoPro video sounds like the final moments of a family fleeing in terror from their haunted home, but that's not what's happening. Midnight is when Tyson and Haley get a phone call that they have to evacuate fast, not from something paranormal, but a situation just as terrifying nonetheless. Flames are tearing up the mountainside and heading towards their home. Now they have to keep their oldest son occupied and unafraid while not panicking themselves, trying their best to navigate around closed roads and other hazards. You can tell the father wants to scream, but he doesn't want to freak their kids out, so this is how he talks.
That's not good at all, huh, buddy? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I want to go up there.
What will happen if the fire comes to our car?
We would turn around and drive away.
He's definitely a good father for not scaring his children, but the reality of the situation is, at least from what I can tell, that they are low on gas and stuck in traffic without much control over where they go next. Police are frantically trying to direct traffic and stay in communication with the fire department to guide cars away from the blazing inferno, and it isn't looking too good for them. Eventually, they break away and find a moment to collect themselves at the gas pump. As they watch the inferno in the distance, adrenaline finally wearing off, it occurs to them just how close to being goners they really were.
I've never had that feeling or adrenaline rush before. That was crazy.
I'm really glad this wasn't the family's final moments caught on GoPro, and hope they have some good memories ahead to help balance out this horrifying event. When YouTuber Connor from The Explorer returns to the abandoned House of Nightmares, he realizes he's not alone. He approaches the home at around 2 a.m., and as he approaches this room, he's in for it.
Trailer off the film. Hello? Hello?
Is someone there? After legging it out of there, he pauses to catch his breath.
What's going on? What the What the
And shortly after, he hears a strange noise.
I'm literally gonna have to just go down there. If there's someone here, then this place is horrible.
He has to go back in order to leave the house, and that's when this happens.
Holy oh my, that was so...
After leaving the place, he re-enters but doesn't find anyone. What I want to know is how. How did he have the guts to re-enter this clearly haunted place? Just how? A nice looking kitchen in the middle of the afternoon is probably one of the least scary settings possible. Well, I thought so too until this 3-second video proved me wrong. We've all jumped out from around a corner before to scare someone, but I've never really seen a YouTube video create that same feeling until this one. I have to give credit to Tyler1 for keeping the video as basic as possible and still getting the job done. There's nothing creepier than finding extra limbs in your home movie. Published to YouTube in March of 2015 by Patrick Cochran, this video of the haunted Hinsdale house in New York will leave you terrified. Located on McMahon Road in Hinsdale, New York, the Hinsdale house runs tours for paranormal investigators and scare fans alike, as it's known to be one of the most haunted houses in the area. The mysterious history of the place includes everything from an exorcism to unexplainable events and sightings. Some of these events are recorded in the book, Echoes of a Haunting. Haunting is centered around the Dandy family who lived in the home with their kin in the 70s. The family claims a number of spirits visited them during their stay, and they even had a priest come on more than one occasion to perform an exorcism. The house won out though, and the Dandy family eventually fled the haunted place. A number of other families made attempts to call the Hinsdale house their home, but no one stayed for long. The present owner, Daniel Clays, doesn't live in the home, but allows paranormal teams to investigate the home. This video may show an investigation or just a regular ghost tour. The group wanders through the haunted house in the darkness, which is creepy enough as it is. Then around 2:36 you see it. A strange arm swings into sight in the darkness. What is that? It certainly doesn't look human. YouTuber Tommy Poo writes in the comments, of all the countless videos I have viewed on YouTube and other social media sites since 2009, this is only the second where I believe visual proof of paranormal entities has been digitally captured. YouTuber Tai Chiman adds, I was involved in a paranormal investigation show as a special guest star at the Hinsdale house 2 years ago, and it has plagued me since with negative activity around me and my home. It seems Ty was certainly not alone in his experience. There's a reason no family ever lasted long in the Hinsdale house. Could you? Me neither. Judging from his relatively harmless-looking appearance, you'd never be able to tell that this man is as heartless and cruel as one can be. This 3-hour police confession in Anaheim, California, eventually culminates in his admission of taking the lives of 6 homeless men with a blade in less than a month. What strikes me is his calm, almost timid demeanor. He speaks very evenly, and you'd never expect that he was capable of generating the rage needed to plunge the blade into one person more than 60 times.
Really what you were doing is you were helping clean up the county, clean up the area.
In a way, sir, yes.
What's even more repulsive is his sense of obligation and pride while looking back at what he's done. He thinks he was doing the city a service by dispatching the unwanted. It's obvious that he does not value human life and only judges people based on how they look, with absolutely no sympathy for their potential or what they've been through.
Do you think that what you've done is right or wrong?
Wrong, but it had to be done. They were making the place look bad also.
Okay.
He is still awaiting trial and sentencing. Let me know what you think his sentence should be based on the evidence presented before you. I think he would most likely do it again, and should probably be kept away from the public. A parenting channel called the Mommy Wayopedia has thousands of subscribers who are looking for heartwarming family videos. Paranormal content is not what they seek, and I don't think she's playing around when she uploaded a rather realistic ghost sighting video for fans to analyze. So here's the background story on this video. She's been seeing some weird things on CCTV camera for the past week or so, but never had the phone nearby to record, and doesn't have a memory card for the camera, so she waited near the CCTV monitor for a couple of days for the paranormal entity to return, and this creepy sighting of a mysterious figure is what she has since caught on camera. The mother tries to keep the fear out of her voice as she tells her son to keep reading a book out loud.
Oh,
You read the book, baby.
okay.
She doesn't want to scare him. She can't take her eyes off what she sees. Seated on the ground facing the courtyard on the first floor is this exquisitely eerie ghost sighting. A woman with long hair and a gown. She's across from the main entrance waiting for them to come out. The see-through figure does not move, but look closely and at 10 seconds, you'll see this object across from the ghost is moving all by itself, or maybe it's the wind. The Mommy Wayopedia has no idea what this ghost wants from her or her family, and is seeking advice on what to do next. I would say this is a camera glitch, but she's been seeing it on different monitors across different places, so it appears to be an actual ghost. With that in mind, the only thing left to do is either confront it or hope it goes away, and I'm not sure if either is going to get her any peace. Under the ancient city of Taif, Saudi Arabia, is a scary haunted cave tunnel that you don't ever want to go exploring by yourself. Famous ghost hunter Abdullah Al-Anbari has made a career out of fearlessly exploring such haunted places, but the question remains, will this haunted place scare him?
في شيء بسم الله الرحمن أنا مستخدم كشاف الرأس.
So far, he's kept his cool among some scary things. Exploring the tunnel some more reveals that it's been walled off, and yet, just when the ghost hunter decides to turn around and go back, something paranormal beckons him to stay. The cave is suddenly filled with scary noises and a strange mist that wasn't there moments before.
هذه النهاية.
He waits for some more activity and finds nothing. Apparently, he is braver than the ghosts once more and leaves victorious. This video could be paranormal unless they somehow figured out a way to get on the other side of that wall to make the noises themselves, though I don't happen to see one. It's unusual for ghosts to appear in broad daylight, but apparently this one likes to play games. Published by Ganjam's Pride in October of 2017, a female ghost was caught on camera at the top of this tree. You can see the figure of the purported ghost perched on the branch. It's frozen still there, unmoving, and it's not clear why. YouTubers in the comments have their opinions, while some think it has a logical explanation, like an inflatable doll caught in a tree. Others are 100% convinced this is a ghost. I suppose either might haunt you. Shand Ali Jat is a ghost hunting fashion model with a YouTube channel based out of Pakistan. Look what happens moments after he is caught on camera getting chills.
Yeah.
It's just out there, nothing.
What did I?
A low-flying bat distracts them long enough to turn their back to a boarded-up window. Something bangs on this barricade from the other side. They stand in the center of the room more than an arm's length away from everything in sight. The ghost always seems to wait until their back is turned before it throws open a door or a window.
और यहाँ पर आपने बदबू चेक की कितनी है बदबू ओए चालू है अल्लाह अकबर ये क्या हो रहा है अल्लाह अकबर ओ यार ये तो तावीज़ नहीं से जानते.
They put a scroll in front of the fireplace, and the evil spirit sets the parchment on fire out of disapproval. The way it goes out is just as unnatural as the way it begins. None of them did anything to cause this that I can see. It's as if it spontaneously combusted. As they examine the door, this YouTuber is thrown into the wall by a paranormal force. It doesn't look like he jumped into the wall either. His head is up and his arms are down as if he's being held by the neck. As he lays gasping on the ground, one of their cameras captures the fireplace silently roaring back to life, like it's feeding off of their fear. Meanwhile, this final ghost sighting is caught on tape in the far corner of the room. It might be edited, but based on all of the other creepy paranormal evidence, I wouldn't be surprised if it was real. While trying to communicate with a boy ghost named Georgie, YouTube team GHOST gets the scare of their lives. Listen for the bang.
Georgie? Are you here, Georgie? Look at all the pretty lights on the walls. Want to play with the lights?
Either the ghost Georgie is a regular bookworm, or he's sending them a message.
No, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop. 100% not, because I was recording the whole time. Hell. Hold up. Oh.
What's right there behind you?
The video ends there, but I'm dying to know what the book was and what the page it landed on read. I'm sure the answers lie therein. A few days ago, strange sounds started coming from an old shower stall in this house that Alejandro has not used in years. He wasn't sure if it was rats or something, so he went up there with a camera, and this scary sighting is what's been caught on video. "20 seconds after showing us nothing was in the shower, this ghostly figure presses against the glass. flies upwards and disappears. This almost has to be CGI because there are absolutely no editing cuts, and the way they fade away doesn't look like somebody simply stepping away from the glass. He reinvestigates and the shower is just as empty as before. When police officers stopped to assist a car that had broken down on the side of Southeast Loop 820 in Forest Hill, Texas, they probably weren't thinking this was a super risky call, but they'd be wrong, as the 3 police officers and 2 motorists awaited a tow truck, lights flashing, a vehicle sped at top speed towards them, completely out of control, and they nearly didn't notice until it was too late. You can see in the video that the group is oblivious to what is about to happen until one officer spots the vehicle flying in their direction, just in time to throw the group out of harm's way. The car sideswiped one police car, slammed head-on into another, and barely avoided the broken down vehicle and all the people milling around on the shoulder. After plowing through, the rogue vehicle ricocheted back into traffic, but then returned to the roadside, where it screeched to a halt. When the car stopped, police hurried to remove the driver. Unsurprisingly, 26-year-old motorist Cedric Keith Henson Jr. had been drinking and was detained at the scene. Although no one was hurt, they very well could have been. A creepy figure was spotted at an old villa near a graveyard. Published by Scary and Mysterious Stuff in April of 2022. What would you do if you encountered this figure in the night? Walking past the graveyard, the cameraman enters the grounds of a villa that is said to have been abandoned 2 decades ago. After the sudden passings of 3 family members, villagers claim to hear sounds emanating from the place at night. Rumors of dark magic cast in the area also make these grounds forbidden. As he's exploring them anyway, he captures a shadow figure walking off. He walks after him but doesn't see anyone. Later, he hears crying. When he opens the door, he finds this holy terror. Can he escape it, or will this sound always be with him? I think this is the type of event that buries deep in the psyche. Have you ever got the feeling that you're being followed? Poppy's Paradise posted this footage to Reddit writing, "Something is following me." The guy in the clip says he was driving when he noticed something outside in the darkness. He stopped his car on the side of the road to film whatever it is, and he shouts a greeting to the figure outside the window.
There's something up here. Hello?
As he drives slowly past, the something that he saw following him comes into view. The figure looks like a girl straight out of The Ring, dressed in white with long black hair. The ghastly creature is seen only for a moment before the clip ends. Is this thing truly following him? We can only hope this was his only sighting. You would need serious courage to stay calm in a situation like this. Solo Ambush goes to a haunted shack that's been abandoned in the jungle. The place is haunted by 2 evil shamans, conjoined twins connected at the hip. Solo Ambush is ready to live up to his reputation and confront them both on live stream. He finds odd evidence in the pages of an old book that could be paranormal incantations of some kind. Tell me what he says here and anything you can about what's written in the book.
So ini adalah salah satu daripadanya. Okay, yang berbahasa ASEAN. Aku akan bawa balik buku ini ya.
I'm especially interested in what this page says. It has a picture of the world on it and a list. He stares at this page for the longest of all. For some reason, he lights 5 candles in the attic and says something to the shaman.
Okay, sila keluar. Aku cabar segala jin, kandam, pesuruh, dukun.
Maybe it has to do with what he just read. Whatever he recites, it works. Notice how the shadows start moving when the noise begins, and how they stop moving when the noise ends. Final analysis. These scary moments caught on livestream video are paranormal and creepy beyond belief. It's like the ghost is walking right up and standing over him. It looks like Solo Ambush is the one getting ambushed this time. Is this the portal to the fiery depths below? The team from Proving Demons thinks so. In this scary video, they're screaming back in the screaming house. As they prepare to communicate with the spirits get there first.
I'm not ready for this, but let's just do it.
Oh, why is it starting? Why is it starting?
You know what I'm about to do? Do you actually know what I'm about to do?
The device was triggered and then a tap is heard, and now it's time for a scream with an Aztec whistle.
What?
In the distance they hear something.
What the Sounds like the death whistle.
What's that?
That sounded like a death whistle. Are you recording?
Someone's outside.
Stop. Are you recording?
Yes.
So it's not just playing.
Are the spirits screaming back? They switch places to see if they're hearing the same thing.
You blow in the top. Purse your lips around the top and blow into it with the megaphone in front of it.
On a recording device, they hear the spirit laughing.
Maniacal laughing.
Is it laughing at their games? To me, the retaliatory screaming following the whistle does sound like someone is screaming back, but this laughter is the most unsettling part of the investigation in my opinion. This mysterious creature sighting is rumored to have been caught on the cell phone camera of a farmer somewhere in India who kept hearing scary noises coming from the woods nearby. When he goes to the edge of the forest, all he can hear is crickets. But it's not because he's alone. Far from it. It's because the mysterious creature is silently waiting not too far away. This could be a Wendigo, a skinwalker, or some other creature that's unknown. Assuming that this is not computer effects, I have little doubt that the creature would have descended upon the farmer from the treetops had he not spotted it with his cell phone camera first. At 49 seconds, its mouth is wide open, and it looks ready to pounce. Security cameras often catch those creatures that we'd rather know nothing about. This is one of them. This video took place in Southern California. The uploader writes, "This thing fell through the wood under the eave of my house and struggled for 3 hours until it fell." The vid starts where it happened in the daytime and then goes to the event. The uploader adds that whatever the creature is, came out at the top right near the vent, and it happened between midnight and 3:30 in the morning. The footage shows what appeared to be a tentacle-like object, which appears and then disappears several times. The pointy end of it starts wiggling, and it stretches out, as if it's trying to reach the vent, while the other end still attached to the wall. It does finally manage to acrobat over, and get its head up in there. Then, before you know it, it's squirming up into the vent, its tail waggling all over the place. It's then seen wrapping around a nearby pole, before it climbs down the wall. Last seen on the ground at 3:30 in the morning. Looks like an acrobatic snake to me. Whatever the creature is, it's sure to keep you up at night. Two fishermen cast their reels into the Gulf of Mexico without a care in the world. 20 minutes later, they only have one care in the world: getting out alive. The pair finds themselves caught in the middle of a giant storm system gathering overhead. Going backwards means traveling in the same direction as the storm, so the only thing left to do is charge deeper into the storm and hope to come out the other side in one piece. The storm hasn't even begun yet, and you can see the waves are almost coming into the boat already. They need to hurry if they ever want to see dry land again. The storm gets worse and worse until they can barely tell the sky apart from the sea. Everything is just a big swirling mass of gray with absolutely no visibility, except for the occasional crack of lightning to illuminate their path for a few precious seconds at a time. If things get any worse, their tiny boat will surely capsize under the crushing waves. Finally, after an hour of riding, they emerge from the traveling storm and return to blue skies. You can tell that they are truly safe because they can stand fully upright again. If you have a chance to visit a former institute, don't. Published by Steve Ronan in October of 2021, this pair of scary videos will send you running for the hills. In the first video, Ronan talks about how Letchworth is where unethical testing was done on patients. When journalists exposed this, the place was shut down. As he's putting on some gear later, he hears someone near. He thinks it's Mo.
You want to be?
Mo?
Another sound is heard, and it doesn't seem to be the crew.
Okay, someone else has to come with me, because I legit heard something. You okay?
They think it came from an adjacent room. The paranormal activity ramps up when one of the crew thinks he saw a person. They are later walking down a hallway when a door either opens or closes behind them.
Like, someone or something walking outside. Oh, God.
They catch the sound on 2 separate cameras.
Walking outside. Off.
As they continue moving through Letchworth, a sound like a rock being thrown occurs to their left.
But what's this door? What the f?
They then attempt to open the doors ahead, and something shuts the door on one of them.
The thing in here.
What was that?
What?
There's something to shut the door on me. It literally just shut the someone behind the door. There's someone actually behind the door.
They pry the door open again to see if there's someone inside, but it's an empty room. As they're wondering if someone fled through the window, their answer arrives in the form of the door slamming shut.
What the f? Yo. It's hard.
It won't open, and they call out for Mo to push from the other side. Mo manages to kick the door open, and they're all relieved to be out of that room. They then talk to the spirits, asking them to come in contact again, and the spirits answer in kind.
If that was your way of making contact with us, can you do it again?
Yo!
They race down the hallway, fleeing for their lives, but before they do, they look in this room one more time. Finding it empty again, something starts banging loudly and repeatedly in the dark hallway.
Go through the window, the bushes are rumbling too.
Still nothing to be seen. As they're heading to the stairs toward the creepy basement, a creaky door is heard opening and closing.
It'll take us to the basement.
Yo.
Who is that?
In the team's second video, they explore the basement, which they soon discover is just as creepy as the floor above. They attempt to speak with the demons using a phone EVP. As they're communicating, another bang is heard behind them.
Are you angry right now?
When they start challenging the demons to slam a door shut, things get a little crazy, claiming he saw the door shake a little.
2 minutes. Okay. Oh, guys. It just moved.
Mo soon starts to get woozy.
Oh, I'm so weirdo.
Mo?
I'm feeling lightheaded.
Dude, your face got all pale.
Pale-faced, Mo says he feels dizzy and lightheaded and so sits down for a moment. They're heading down the stairs when Mo gets dizzy again and falls to the ground. Later, he is not being himself and becomes aggressive with the rest of the crew.
I don't know, man. Just be careful. He's not himself.
Hold it! What? Oh, what the?
Has Mo become possessed? Guess that's what happens when you start challenging demons. I need to include this video because I've never come across a paranormal video before with such an even split between people saying that it's absolutely fake and so obviously real. Some people are certain that this is the legitimate ghost of a child, and others are sure that this is special effects, light reflections, and a plastic bag, and a host of other non-paranormal explanations. As for me, I think that I probably would have noticed something that large moving out of the corner of my eye, so I think it could be fake. But then again, I can't say for sure unless I was there myself. Maybe the camera recorded something that was not discernible by the naked eye. Shared in the subreddit Paranormal Videos, this now deleted user picked up a disembodied voice on her dog cam, speaking a foreign language. Have a listen.
Funny kid.
Did you hear that?
Funny kid.
The Redditor notes that the camera was placed on the mantle, and there's nothing behind the camera but the chimney. Some in the comments note that both of the dogs are looking at something in the room, and one of them looks terrified. The voice sounds almost like it's hissing in the end. I'm not sure what's going on here, if this is paranormal or there's someone in the home, but I do think I'd be setting up more cameras after hearing this. Saulo Brenner claims to have caught a ghost on camera at an abandoned cemetery somewhere in Brazil. Across the street is a shadow figure caught moving on tape. It looks pretty decent until you zoom in and see the ghost sighting is most likely a blur effect or a camera glitch. The date and time look messed up too, further evidence that the CCTV video has been edited and not paranormal. You have phantom co-workers? Well, you're not the only one. Published by David Condolly in February of 2017, this security footage was captured at around 5 in the morning. The video doesn't identify the workplace, but the footage shows a reception area, perhaps of a hotel. A man is sitting at the front desk on a computer when this happens. Maybe it's just a breeze, or so you would think. As the man stares at the piece of paper perplexed, a tree in the corner of the room starts to shake. This prompts the man to jump to his feet in shock. Spooky noise ensues, and this creepy combination sends the man leaping over the counter and fleeing this haunted place.
Whoa.
Are his coworkers playing a trick on him? Or are his coworkers ghosts? Either way, he might want to start checking the job ads. The Terror Al Extremo crew wanders the abandoned grounds of this haunted witch's house. In the middle of a forest, they hear a shrill shriek. While it could be human, it could also be harmless. It sounds like a bird call, but shortly after, a figure that they capture in a window seems to suggest otherwise. Are the legends true? Is this the witch that's said to haunt this place? I'm starting to think that it wasn't a bird. The CCTV video comes from an unnamed museum after hours. First, you can see the turnstile move on its own, as if someone has been granted admission. Next, the turnstile suddenly stops, and you can see the clear outline of a figure as it makes a brisk exit. I'm not quite sure what to make of this footage, but many people think it could be real, since museums are often filled with ancient artifacts that could be haunted. A YouTuber named Trey P is wandering around an empty graveyard somewhere in New Orleans, all by himself, when he hears this voice out of nowhere. He claims that the voice belongs to a ghost, though to be honest, it might just be his. The only way to tell if this video is real would be to have Trey P say a sentence and then compare his voice with the voice in the video. Nadeem Shah suspects he's caught some paranormal things on video when he goes exploring an abandoned building that is little more than pillars in the dark. He suspects a place this creepy has to be haunted, and the ghost hunter's instincts are not wrong.
हम देखते हैं अगर हमें कोई यहाँ पे भारी चीज या कोई जिनों का साया नजर आता है कि नहीं। हम जिन की तलाश में निकल तो ओह नाजरीन, ये कुछ हिलता हुआ हमें नजर आया है। तो ये आवाजें कैसी आ रही है? आए नाजरीन, हम हिम्मत करके वहाँ जाने की कोशिश करते।
2 ghost sightings are enough for Nadeem. He needs a paranormal encounter up close to be fully convinced. He follows the ghost into the darkness for one final sighting.
इसको देखते हैं ये कौन सी मखलूक है, क्या चीज है। इसको हम पकड़ने की कोशिश करते हैं। ये इस तरफ से नजर आ रही है, इधर से हम जाने की कोशिश करते हैं।
He's all alone when a slow-moving shadow figure glides across the pillar without making a sound. It's not someone walking behind him either, because Nadeem would already be blocking out the light himself. It's a real ghost sighting as far as I'm concerned. A paranormal entity, a moving shadow that deeply creeps him out and sends him on his way. Enough said. You shall not pass. YouTuber 32 Jeremiah Nongtrod 2K17 captured a witch guarding a remote dirt road in the darkness of night. The witch stands in the middle of the road, unmoving for more than a minute. Just when it seems like she will never leave, she finally hobbles off and vanishes into the darkness. The guys drive forward to look for her, but she's nowhere to be found. Where did she go? And what was she doing there in the first place? Although this video has no answers, it's obvious to me that whatever that was in the road, witch, ghost, or demon, it was not to be crossed. These guys were smart to keep their distance. If you think you're safe in your own home, think again. Posted by Call Me Ace here to the Chills Narrator subreddit, the Redditor explains, this is a video of a random guy walking up to my brother's home in Houston, Texas. The stranger flashed their flashlight through my brother's front door window and camera. The video shows a man possibly casing the place. If that is what he's doing, he isn't taking many precautions, as he's not wearing a mask of any kind to hide his identity, nor does he take any notice at first of the security camera that's caught him red-handed. If he was trying to fly under the radar, he's doing a terrible job at it. Not only does he flash a flashlight directly into the potential target's home, but he looks squarely into the security camera, capturing his headshot straight on, right before shining the flashlight into the camera's face too. Redditor Stark Burrito asks, was he pointing the flashlight into the camera to obscure himself? Bit late, buddy. Other Redditors recommended that the homeowner alert other neighbors to the incident, as well as the neighborhood watch and local authorities. It might prevent the unknown person from taking this further. While you may not have to worry about those you know entering into your home, You should definitely worry about randos. Mackie Albertson is a ghost hunter exploring haunted places full of skinwalker sightings to further investigate strange rumors of unknown creatures in the area. She's standing on ancient burial grounds when the bizarreness begins.
This place is honestly so creepy. Just the feeling here is just eerie. Like, it's not super scary, it's just eerie.
A voice in the dark sounds human, and moments before she gets creeped out.
So basically, what had happened was...
She's actually caught a ghost orb on camera.
This place is honestly so creepy.
That's when she has a creature sighting of her own, or so she says.
Oh my gosh, there's a coyote, there's a coyote, there's a coyote. There's a coyote. There's a coyote.
She very well could have seen a shape-shifting skinwalker taking animal form. The camera goes out of focus like something is charging at her. This is the only time it happens.
Hello, is someone here? Oh, save me.
Plus, when she comes back later to the same spot, she gets more evidence in the form of 2 scary paranormal EVPs.
Are there any skinwalkers in this area still?
Freaky, right? Captured by a Ring camera, Redditor Hematospermia's neighbors woke up to this at 5 a.m. on Sunday morning. First off, that mask is terrifying. Secondly, this masked intruder is not alone. I'm not sure why they're blocking the camera when they're already wearing masks, but obviously their intentions are nefarious, and this is soon confirmed by what they're carrying. The camera is blocked for the duration of the video, and there is no sound or explanation from the Redditor, so unfortunately, I don't know how this standoff ended, and this has left Redditors guessing. I too hope this is a viral marketing campaign, but I have a feeling it's all too real. This stranger in a hockey jersey demands entry. Would you let him in?
Let me in.
Published by Sam Maloney in May of 2022, this Ring doorbell camera captured this man's attempted entry on video. After being dropped off by a white car that drives away, the man walks up the stairs and rings the doorbell a couple of times. He speaks in a strange, froggy voice. He continues to growl at the door.
Let me in. Let me in.
Alexa then asks him what his intentions are, and he responds,
Welcome. This is Alexa. What is the purpose of the visit?
I require entry.
After demanding entry, the man disappears from the camera's sight, but it's not clear where he went. He didn't retreat down the front stairs. Did he find a way in through the door or a window? You and me are left with more questions than answers. A supposedly real ghost sighting was caught on dashcam video by VBO Life while exploring one of the most haunted places in Delhi. It happens fast, so watch closely or you'll miss the scary stuff. An apparition appears in front of them and they get freaked out, or so it seems. Slow it down and at 8 minutes and 22 seconds you'll see the spirit is supposed to be in front of the car, but the very bottom of its dress accidentally clips into the hood. So while this video's creepy, I can also safely say it's not real. friends explore a park in North Hollywood after hearing reports of a maniac approaching random people. Soon they grow bored and decide to try to test the visual range of their night vision camera for fun. He tells his friend to keep moving back until she is barely visible.
It's on night vision.
Sis.
Keep going.
Soon she is little more than an outline of a black silhouette against the night sky. When she is a good distance away, something that's been watching them the entire time snatches her into the shadows.
Just stop playing around. It's not funny.
If this video is real, then whatever grabs her possesses impossible strength and speed. It picks her up off her feet like she weighs nothing at all, which makes me wonder how big this creature is and how it manages to move so fast without any sound. A YouTuber named Braveburn is by himself checking out an old abandoned house rotting in the forest. Behind a creepy mold-covered door and down some old wooden steps, he finds a basement that looks far from safe. He pokes around downstairs for less than a minute before he finds a false sense of wall that leads to a lonesome hidden room. Soon he comes across a bunch of miscellaneous extension cords tangled together on a broken bench. Why anyone would need that much power to this tiny room is anyone's guess. It's almost like someone was being kept down here, possibly against their will. Braveburn shines a flashlight down a narrow square hole and chances upon a tuft of golden straw-like material. I'm really hoping that this is insulation and not human hair. He quickly leaves without checking, so I guess we'll never find out. This slow motion video captures a man peeling around a corner as fast as he can, and soon you see exactly what has him moving so fast. A gigantic cheetah literally bounces off the wall in pursuit. The video ends before we exactly get to see what happens next. Maybe this cheetah really did come in straight from the jungle, or maybe it was kept as a household pet until one day it simply snapped. Whatever the case may be, I doubt it ended well for the person running away. Then again, I have no idea why he would just happen to have a camera set up to catch this event perfectly, so maybe it was scripted after all. Let me know what you think is going on here, and also tell me if you have any more background information that can help us put this video in better context. The G-Team paranormal investigators are at it again, returning to the highly paranormal medical center. The paranormal activity that occurs in this video is sure to scare you silly. Published to YouTube in April of 2020, the team writes, "We chose this place due to the amount of paranormal activity we always get here, and lo and behold, they were waiting for us. Hold on to your hats, because this one's a wild ride. Patty leads the pack, and the paranormal activity that occurs in the center is off to the races from the get-go." As the crew is doing their intro, something in the next room falls to the floor.
Yeah. Oh my god. What was that?
When they go to investigate, they claim that as soon as they walked into the room, it grew extremely cold. Jody screams, saying he felt like something touched him. He said something got his neck, and Patty points out that a cord hanging from the ceiling in the middle of the room is moving. Throughout the entire video, there are odd noises here and there. Sometimes they're subtle, other times they're distinct.
Is that doctor?
That was crazy. Around 10 minutes 25 seconds, Jody is trying to communicate with the presence in the medical center, asking it to tap 3 times.
That was. You hear that?
Although it does not comply, a shadow falls across the room, and another loud bang is heard in the next room.
Oh, God.
All this frightening activity begs the question, what kind of medical procedures went on here? This door manages to stay open for 5 full seconds before slowly swinging shut for some reason, and I want to know why. It's a lightweight door, so maybe his house isn't level, and that's why his door is shutting like that. Or maybe I just don't want to believe that his house is haunted after all. So is this an unlevel house or something paranormal? Welcome to the inner workings of a broken down mental hospital, recorded live to Facebook by Hammy TV. This creepy video takes you on a tour through the extreme ward of Medfield State Hospital, developed over the turn of the 20th century. The 58-building complex held a max of 2,200 patients and was a filming location for such films as Shutter Island and The Box. According to Wikipedia, trespassing between dark and sunrise is strictly forbidden, so these boys aren't exactly following the law. One especially creepy fact about this asylum is that it has 841 grave sites, all of which are numbered instead of named. In fact, Boy Scouts in the area made it their Eagle Scout service project to find the correct names of all buried and their dates of passings. If that wasn't creepy enough, watch what happens during this tour of evil. The crew is heading to the 3rd floor, where there were allegedly a few passings. As they're trying to decide how to get up the very broken stairs, the camera pans the upper floor. Keep your eye on the hallway. A shadow person very clearly crosses the threshold, a shadow that apparently the crew didn't see in reality, as they have no reaction to it whatsoever. I'm sure when they watched this video in playback they did. I'm not sure if anyone noticed until it was pointed out in the Facebook comments, but now that it's been spotted, I think this paranormal sighting is terrifying. Dennis from YouTube channel Dark Ghost Paranormal is tracking some ghosts in an abandoned house, and it quickly goes sideways. Something is banging in this hallway. He gets closer to the refrigerator. Is something inside? More sounds throw Dennis off track. What was that? A second Steadicam may have captured what was causing this noise from another angle. Did you see that? Watch again closely. A shadow figure flees down the hallway. To me, it seems more like it escaped the fridge and moved off to make noise elsewhere. Where did it go, though? Better not follow. I think Dennis is not safe here. This YouTuber works security at a building that's so haunted, he can't even get past to the elevator without scary stuff happening. It's gotten to the point where he records anywhere he goes because the place is seriously that haunted by paranormal poltergeist activity everywhere. The building has a nice gym room, for example, but it seems the equipment is always in use one way or another. Weird things are always caught on camera moving around on their own when he's out of arm's length.
Para darles una sorpresa a ver cuando vengan, que no saben que estoy aquí. ¡Hostias!
But it is perhaps this haunted playroom area that sees the most paranormal activity of all. So that's a lot of freaky stuff to have happened, but he's been making videos for years, and I've saved the absolute scariest video for last. You're not going to believe this one because it's that beyond creepy. He lives alone and hears the voices of a family coming from his room.
Vamos a ver. Empiezan a escuchar ruidos aquí estos días.
When he calls into the darkness, he is answered by the shadow person sighting. The dark outline of a shadow moving in the small amounts of light coming through a crack in the door.
Hostia, la luz. Oye.
There's no doubt that somebody was in there with him, but was it planned, or was it a real ghost sighting caught on video? I think when you look at all of the paranormal video evidence caught on tape, you'll conclude that this place is really haunted. He could be faking it, but I don't really see how. Also, with barely any views on his videos, I don't see why he would continue for years on end, unless it was really happening to him. On the Chills Narrator subreddit, a user named Dope Island Skate continues to post all the weird things caught on camera while living in his haunted home. This time he's looking at his living room on CCTV video when creepy stuff starts happening once again on his home security system. A noise in the hallway makes him turn around. A weirdly shaped small figure is caught on camera, but he must not see it in real life because he doesn't say anything. There is no doubt that the light is moving by itself at 1 minute before he hits the light switch. He does a full 360 around it, not believing his eyes, and you can clearly see nothing is attached. Almost everyone who watched this video on the Chills subreddit thought it was creepy and real, and I don't really have a counter explanation as to how it could be faked. Nothing about this mysterious video is easy to explain, and that's why I think it might actually be real. Hopefully, Dope Island Skate continues to keep us updated, unless he decides to move out of his haunted house first, which I would completely understand. A YouTuber named Flair is left shaken after a fishing trip goes wrong, and you'll never guess how. It's a clear day when they hit the lake, but after a while, dark clouds soon roll in. Flair and his friend are too busy catching fish to notice a sudden shift. That's when nature tells him it's time to go back indoors. His line pops with static. Lightning has struck the lake somewhere and sent a jolt through them both. One of them gets into the water to tie the boat off. A risky move in my opinion. He's out of the water again before lightning strikes twice. I'm glad they both appear to be unharmed. But talk about a close call. Two friends use face swap for a laugh, but it turns into a scare instead that leaves one of them speechless. This video is really creepy because there's absolutely nothing but total darkness behind him. Certainly nothing for the app to have mistaken for a face. The face behind him doesn't look anything like his own. It's a pale apparition with no eyes and no smile. Freaky, right? Do you take this ghost bride to be your lawfully wedded wife? I don't. Published by Thiago Furacao in April of 2022, this ghost hunter encountered a phantom bride that was forcibly married to her husband in this haunted church. This is what happened. As they first enter the church, an unseen force slams the door shut and moves a wooden bench with great force, and then the fun begins.
Meu Deus. Tá do céu!
The bride is first seen as they are attempting to communicate with her using a spirit box. Watch the door carefully in the background. A pale figure passes slowly. The pair don't notice it.
Qual era o seu nome?
Later, as they're told to leave, they see the figure face to face. Once they're standing outside the church, the figure is seen standing at the altar. As Thiago walks toward the church doors, they're slammed shut in his face. After watching this scary video, would you say I do? Let me know in the comments. When you find a suitcase with a pentagram inside, you should probably let it be. Published by Paranormal Point in February of 2022. While looking at this mysterious collection, Maxim doesn't realize he's standing alongside evil.
Убьет. Друзья, я не ошибаюсь. Это же вроде пентаграмма.
Soon the door closes at the end of the hall, and he can't open it.
Ах, черт. Я почему-то не могу ее сейчас открыть.
After he lights the pentagram, things only get stranger from there. When he asks who's there, this is the response.
Кто здесь?
And soon the demon isn't answering any more questions. What is in this basement with Maxim? And will it let him out? I have Al Qasimia of a ghost hunting channel called The Horror is looking for a phantom figure said to haunt this building in Israel. A ghost who is apparently quite eager to be caught on camera.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات.
He keeps hearing a sink drip even though no water is coming from the faucet because no water runs to the building.
في السماء بسم الله. بسم الله.
The ghost hunter also detects small movements in windowless rooms that are devoid of all life.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات.
That's when something inside of him says that trouble is near, that he needs to check out the window.
You see anything?
A mysterious and shadowy figure is caught on camera, an apparition capable of powerful acts. Based on what happens next, the ghost hunter knows he's been marked by the jinn, but there is no time to get out of the way as the spirit seemingly teleports inside.
بالله.
بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بكلمات.
The featureless shadow figure peers around the corner and the brave ghost hunter gives chase. When he rounds the corner, all traces of the paranormal entity are gone. If this is not paranormal, then I wonder how the ghost was able to disappear within seconds. There are no editing cuts that I can see. Something is active in this quiet home. Published by Memoria Sobrenatural Inc. in April of 2022. The paranormal investigator searches this haunted place, and it seems like an unknown entity is searching him right back, and then the entity grows aggressive. After coming across stacked chairs in one of the rooms, they collapse before the man's very eyes. He then witnesses a faucet turn on by itself. It flows full blast.
Cara, olha isso, olha isso, olha isso. Pessoal, cara, estão olhando nisso. Estão olhando nisso, pessoal. Cara, não entende.
As the ghost hunter tries to catch some sleep, what looks like a mattress falls against the wall. Later, he encounters this shadow figure in the hallway, and then another lurking in the corner of a room. Is something hiding in this curtain behind him? Before you start to panic, Nah, just go ahead and panic. It's the time for it. The Queensland Police Service in Australia released this seriously scary video on their Facebook page. Wrapped firmly around this poor person's leg is the last thing anyone wants, a large snake. They seem to be employing some kind of tickling strategy that I doubt is going to make it relax. Wiggling my fingers as fast as possible around a snake seems like a terrible move, but I'm also no snake expert. I am absolutely amazed at how calm the snake remains as the officer puts her hands close to its head and unwraps it from this leg. I was assuming it was domesticated until the officer was later told it was wild. Someone tell me what kind of snake this was and why it didn't seem to care about being handled for the first time. Maybe it was simply looking for a warm spot to coil up for the night, or maybe it was someone else's escaped pet on the loose. This video comes from the haunted Farside Lounge in Colorado. A woman sitting in the bottom corner is the closest person to what you're about to see, and both her hands are full. And yet this remote seemingly moves all by itself. It's as if something is picking this up, moving it slightly, and putting it back down. Meanwhile, the drink next to it stays perfectly still. She even notices it at the very end, so this is one of those problems that is either completely spontaneous, or where everyone is in on it and plays along. The problem is I don't know which. Is this the trail of a ghost? Posted to the r/ghosts subreddit, Jen the Heb explains, my dad took a video of a helium balloon floating around the house to scare my kids, but captured something else. The video shows the helium balloon in question drifting in the corner of the room. As it floats there, suddenly a white, unidentifiable object flies forward and another swings past. According to Jen the Heb, her father didn't see the wisp until he watched the video back. Redditor Mr. Blistered Lips writes, if not paranormal, I'd suggest a flash from reflected sunlight off of a car outside hitting the lens, but the Redditor counters that, according to her, the back deck looks over a conservation area where no cars pass. While some viewers still insist it's a reflection, others think something is definitely moving in front of the camera. But is it paranormal? What is your wild guess? Personally, I'm going with the first option. Next time you're in India, cruising in the UP, you might want to avoid driving in the rain. This couple was nearly consumed by an unseen pit or manhole. Thankfully, bypassers came to their aid. After the couple was pulled to safety, I'm sure there wasn't much that could be done to save the scooter. The husband was a cop, and both did not walk away from the incident unscathed. I think this serves as an example to exercise extreme caution when driving through any body of water. Two friends are driving down a quiet stretch of California highway when they notice a man dressed in all black is standing in their lane with his back turned to them. What's weird is how he is standing on a well-lit highway close to the street lamps, yet not a single detail is visible. It's easy to see everything that's around him, but even the headlights of oncoming traffic are not enough to illuminate him whatsoever. I do agree with the uploader that this is strange, but I'm not sure if this means he is a spirit or not. Let me know if you think this was just a broken down motorist or an actual shadow person. An unknown creature sighting was caught on video by a girl from Boswell, Pennsylvania.
Who's there?
She's returning from a friend's house when this bizarre humanoid figure follows. When confronted at 1 minute and 37 seconds, it stretches into a shape later described as a large dog or a deer and runs away. It does look to be a mysterious, shape-shifting creature too small to be a person, at least from this perspective. This could be someone crouching down at an odd camera angle, or it could be the Pennsylvania creature known as the Boswell bushcrawler. If only it were a few steps over in the light, we would have been able to better tell. Peel your eyes back for this one. Published by Kisa Weba in January of 2022, this scary video has been trending in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. The video was shared with Kisa Weba by a subscriber who said he'd found the footage on Reddit. The original poster claimed to have crossed paths with this mud monster on the way home one day. The footage shows a creepy female mud-like creature sitting in the middle of a dirt road. The mysterious creature has long arms with a peculiar appendage where the hand should be. The hand features long Gumby-like fingers that appear to contract as the cameraman walks toward her. The figure's back is also strangely indented. It looks as if parts of the figure are blurred out for discretion, but as the cameraman walks toward her, the other hand reaches over, revealing the same elongated fingers as the first. There also appears to be a trail several feet down the road, dragged by the figure, but it ends as if the creature dropped to the earth there from the middle of nowhere. What is this mud monster? And what exactly is she doing here? I guess we'll never know for sure. Security cameras often capture things we'd rather not see. This footage, posted by Redditor JHood3119, reveals a creepy-looking creature ambling in the vicinity of this upstate New York security camera. A friend installed a security camera because his dog kept freaking out for no reason, JHood writes. And it seems the dog was freaking out for a reason. As you can see, a figure passes into view, moving strangely and seemingly wearing a headlamp and holding a flashlight. But then halfway across the snow-packed yard, the figure completely vanishes, although a flashlight beam still appears at the right side of the screen. What could this be? Well, some in the comments of this thread consider the possibility of the supernatural, saying the figure's strange walking and eye shine is creepy and inhuman. But others are not having it. Human or paranormal, what do you think? Based on the dog's reaction, there's definitely something there. A woman leaves her car unlocked and loses some personal items, including a set of keys. A short time later, a man who she has never seen before comes to her front door and attempts to gain entry with her missing keys. Fortunately, none of the keys were the house key, and he quickly hurries off with nothing. This just goes to show how easily one incident can lead to another. If you ever experience anything like this, don't underestimate the persistence of those doing it. A YouTube channel called Exploring with Angelina is with some friends, and they are exploring an abandoned house that was apparently the scene of some very horrible events. The house is certainly creepy, and as they explore, the video has a feeling of unease, almost like something could pop out at any second. But it's at the 9 minute and 32 second mark when Angelina's friend looks into a dark room that things get beyond strange. She sees something so creepy, it sends her leaving with a high-pitched scream.
Oh my god.
Inside the room is basically a spider fortress, with webs covering almost every inch of the room. I feel bad for any future urban explorer who accidentally walks into that room, especially if you have a fear of spiders. This would be enough to scare you for life. Next time you're in nature, take a closer look at your camera roll. You might just catch a forest spirit. Redditor I Like Toby McGuire says that he thinks bro wants to say hi in this pic captured at the forest's edge in North Carolina. Do you see it? Look closer. Many in the comments think the spooky face is either photoshopped or is pareidolia. While I could definitely see this being edited, I also think it's possible that it's a bubble floating past, or it could just be the newest, creepiest, scary movie villain. If this photo is real, I'd be staying far away from that forest. Is the haunted Papworth Hospital worth exploring? YouTube Team Ghost Theory tests their fates to answer that question in this scary video. As they enter the building, they hear a whistle.
Where's this message? Just listen. Very nicely listen. I did. Is it the door? Did you hear it, Paul?
Continuing their tour of the hospital, the spirits there respond to their questions.
Can you see us?
That was the X, wasn't that?
What the actual...
They get an affirmative answer again.
Are there more than one... Is there more than one spirit here? That's a yes.
As they stay quiet for a minute, they hear multiple noises in the stillness.
That's weird. And also, I'm confused because why in like a reception area?
Well, I guess they could be anywhere.
Yeah, wandering around. Is that true? Do you just walk around here?
Further along, they capture a door moving.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, I just said that.
I've just started recording. That door's just moved.
They then hear a loud thump from another room.
Wow.
And then another strange noise is heard. As they head outside, there's faint crying in the night.
Look who they've been. And the baby climb at you. No, I think it could be just one of the houses. There aren't any. They're all just there, in front of us. The lights on.
Is that a baby crying? Before they can find out, they face off with some of the scariest beings that ghost hunters can ever encounter. Humans.
Whoa.
While the team may have been here, it sounds to me like they're not alone. It seems plenty of spirits are afoot at Papworth. 4 friends are playing Wii Sports late at night, with no one else home and no one expected to join them later. Keep in mind, this is 2008, when recording yourself playing video games without showing the actual screen was normal. Anyway, with their backs turned, a mysterious figure darts past the window unnoticed and unannounced. The strange silhouette is transparent and just kind of appears in the middle of the window out of nowhere, more like a ghost than a person passing by. Or it could be the person in the white shirt's reflection when they leave the frame and bend over, accidentally creating the illusion of someone running past. A YouTuber named Stirrin's Wild World is grabbing some firewood from a pile when she notices something small and dangerous moving from within. You probably don't see anything, and neither did I at first. Without some hesitation, she carefully uses a grabbing stick to extract the beast from its hiding spot.
More venom!
It's not just any cobra, it's a cobra that actually spits venom. The sight fills her with fear and fascination. Watch as she keeps its mouth pointed away from her as she examines its body. She is giving some basic information about the species when it somehow slips past her guard. It doesn't look like she loosens her grip at all, but rather the snake flattens its jaws and slides through.
Okay, the reason why I'm in love. Whoa!
She manages to snag it by the tail again and moves backwards as the snake comes at her, spitting venom all the while. The video ends before she gets a chance to release it, but based on how it's aggressively moving towards her, I have no idea how she plans to get away. Randonautica can sure be random, but then again it's eerily spot on. Published to YouTube in January of 2021, Chelsea Luna writes, "This is my first time trying Randonautica and I was so excited to have my friends Omar from Omar Gosh TV, James from The Fam, and Carlos from Carlos The Fam joining me on this adventure, and just like that the adventure begins. They're driving along when something hits the back of their car."
What was that? What was that? Bro, there's something just hit the back of the car.
It sounds like a rock or a pebble. They stop to see if something is back there, but they come up short. In the distance, something is heard. It sounds like coyotes or something.
You want a coyote?
Stop.
Whatever it is scares the group, and they hurry to get in the car and lock the doors. Later, as they're driving by a bunch of tires, a strange growl is heard.
Monster.
What is that?
What? Oh, you heard something?
It sounded like a growl.
Yeah, it sounded like a growl.
They continue on. A strange sound effect that the crew missed is heard in the background. It almost sounds like a disembodied voice is screaming, and it says, "You."
Oh, I want to get after the bro. You didn't say it at the last look.
At one point, they're taken to the statue of an angel defeating a demon. Carlos says he was thinking about an angel, so this is a bit freaky that the app drew them here. Does this creepy adventure make you want to never use Randonautica again? Because that's definitely the case for me. Thomas Hayes has been hearing scary loud sounds lately. Strange scratching noises coming from inside of the wall, right next to where he sleeps at night. Anxiety mixes with fear as he dismantles the electric socket to investigate what's gone wrong behind the walls. And let me tell you, the source of the scary sounds is beyond creepy. He tries not to scream as he finds the wall is filled with an endless number of fried insects, roaches to be exact, and look, at 30 seconds he absent-mindedly flicks one off with his finger. That's not exactly the reaction I was expecting, and certainly not what I would have done, but I guess he was shocked at the time. Speaking of, I can't help but wonder how safe it is to prod around an electrical socket with a screwdriver in the first place. I know he probably turned the power off, but I feel like it could still hold a charge. Someone tell me in the comments. A man films the road ahead while speaking in a different language. I'm not sure what he says, but it sounds like he is trying his best to stay calm in the face of danger. If you can translate this part for me, it would really help.
Balikan ko kekuatan dan jauhilah segala jauhilah segala kejahatan, ya Allah.
He slowly turns around the camera to reveal a hooded figure floating in his car. Only the upper half of its body is visible, and there's total darkness where its face should be. He doesn't dare look at the phantom in his rearview mirror, instead keeping his eyes on the road and letting the camera look for him. If this isn't a prop, then what could it be besides a ghost? Sometimes when you're horsing around on TikTok, you capture something you'd least expect. Shannon Brianna claims to have caught a ghost on camera. The clip shows an animated avatar doing a little dance, excited to go to bed, but watch this picture in the mirror. A shadow crosses its path, making the otherwise innocent scene wholly unnerving. Was someone in the room with Shannon? Was that a shadow figure or just a regular old ghost? Whatever it is, not sure if I'd be so excited to go to bed after seeing a creepy shadow across my bedroom wall. A YouTuber named Nugget Noggin is exploring an old abandoned home one evening somewhere in the deep south. He's been here only once before, and it gave him such a strange and foreboding feeling that he couldn't take it anymore and he had to leave. Now he's mustered up enough courage to come back and check out the rest of the house. He wants to get up to the second floor.
Alright, I got this little door here to keep the air from rising up, I reckon. I don't know. Could be somebody up there. Oh man, somebody's standing on it. Cause I sure can't lift it up.
Much to his dismay, he finds a door has been laid over the top of the stairway so that nobody can get through. He tries to push on the horizontal door. One moment, it feels as if a heavy force is standing on top of it, and the next moment, the weight is suddenly gone, and Nugget Noggin can get upstairs. Some rooms give him the same weird feeling that made him flee before. He remembers that the front door was kicked in. Possibly someone broke in. Maybe a family was living here long ago, and things did not end well for them.
Won't be able to sleep. Look, there's a light on in there. That's odd. There's a mirror. You know what time it is?
Nugget Noggin doesn't find much else and leaves. When he's reviewing the footage, however, he does notice what could be the face of a small girl. Take a look at this picture and tell me if it looks like anything paranormal to you. A YouTuber named Joe Shoemaker is exploring an abandoned road on Elm Street in Ohio. At the end of this overgrown dirt road is supposed to be a notorious house with a long and haunted history. The road itself is ominously closed, and they have to break the rules just to get there. After driving for a while, their headlights barely manage to illuminate the dark and collapsing exterior of a house that looks more like a creepy old shack, rather than a place where any normal person would actually ever live. The front porch is an unpassable pile of broken boards and sharp wooden splinters, so John has to walk around the perimeter to find another way inside. The back entrance is a scratched up wooden door. John isn't even sure if someone still lives here or not, but he turns the rusted knob and stands in the door. The inside is barren and lacks insulation. A long ventilation duct runs completely exposed across the length of the wall. Pipes hang on strings for no reason. He hesitates for a moment and takes a single uneasy step inside. Nothing happens, so he takes another step and makes the mistake of letting down his guard.
That's over here.
Just when he feels safe, some sort of blue humanoid figure comes from the bottom of the screen and jumps him. I mean, this could just be one of his friends, but here's the thing. When you look closely at the creature that pops out in front of him, you'll see it only has a single misshapen eye. If you ever find yourself swimming with the fishes, you'd better hope they're not piranhas. The bite force of a black piranha is incredibly powerful. It's 3 times as strong as an American alligator, and 30 times stronger than its own weight. Point being, no dentist would want to work on these chompers. This video shows just how effective a piranha bite can be. Published in May of 2011, this bite test was administered in Ecuador. Holding a piranha in one hand and a stick in the other, the man brings the stick near the piranha's mouth and the fish easily and instantly snips like a pair of scissors. There's no question about it. If given a chance, this seemingly innocent fish will take more than a bite out of you. It may take a limb. A camera pans across a white room filled with antique furniture and creepy collectibles, which is already bad enough, but when it stops at a tall old mirror, they seem surprised to find a childlike silhouette filling out the frame. As they are studying the child in their shaky gaze, a pair of identical orbs float above her head as 2 pinpoints of light become barely visible, almost like she is turning her head slightly. I guess this shadow child could simply be a large doll. However, even if this was the case, as far as I'm aware, only the eyes of the living can reflect light like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a lifeless doll should never have glowing eyes. The person recording sees the eyes and tears up the steps in a hurry. They would later refer to the event only as the girl with sparkling eyes in the dark. A YouTuber named Renee Chase slowly comes to the realization that her house is haunted as she watches a possessed lamp caught on tape in real time.
This lamp about a month or so ago decided that it was going to do its own thing, as you can see.
What's weird is how the lamp seems to contradict her statements whenever it can.
I don't know, it's slowing down now that I'm videoing. But, oh, no, it's not.
Someone in the comments points out that a touch lamp with a loose connection could be to blame. She hasn't responded in over 4 years, though I think that if this is a touch lamp, then it stands to reason that a ghost could be tapping it. According to Renee, the light especially seems to go off if she is having an argument or any other emotionally charged conversation, so maybe this unexplained event really is paranormal. A paranormal video from Russia follows ghost hunter Sergei Sokolov on an urban exploration that creeps him out. The investigation eventually leads him to what appears to be a recently used altar. Crushed cans rest on 3 points of the evil-looking star, northwest and southeast, probably where candles are going to soon be burned for a ritual of some kind, but it looks like a summoning ritual might have already been performed when this happens.
Подпишитесь на канал, поставьте под этим видео лайк, напишите комментарий.
They are wrapping up the paranormal video in typical YouTube style when something weird is caught on camera behind him. Some people say this is a possible paranormal entity, but if you pay attention, it looks like it could be a drawing on the wall. But even so, why is only the drawing lighting up? A YouTube channel called Rick Now TV posted this while traveling across the European countryside. He is recording a dreary meadow from a train when he spots an oversized figure standing at a distance in the fog. The fog creature looks like a silhouette and is gone within the short time it takes him to zoom in and refocus, but in the instant it's there. You can see that it is about the same height as a nearby tree and large well. Rick Now TV suspects that this is a ghost, but perhaps it's further evidence of Slenderman, the elusive tall and dark creature who is said to be able to change its shape, size, and appearance at will. Real Victoria is woken up by her cat hissing at something it sees in the bedroom window. The cat goes quiet when she starts recording, but it's definitely focused on some activity outside. She says this creepy looking character was looking in through her window, and he very well may have been, but at 4 seconds he also seems to be looking up and trying to get the attention of someone in the room above him. In fact, I think I hear him shout something and whistle loudly at the beginning of this video. What is he saying here? Eventually, he steps away and out of sight. I guess he either saw the camera, or he finally got the attention of someone in the unit above. Whatever he was up to, having a complete stranger anywhere near where you live at 5 in the morning is oddly terrifying. With that said, I do believe her, and I hope Real Victoria stays safe until her lease is up and she can get out of there. Who's there? Your worst nightmare. Posted by Deadhead Gillies to the Ghosts subreddit. The Redditor says there's something knocking in the walls, and we don't have to take her word for it, because she has video proof. It sounds like someone is knocking insistently at the door, only there's no one there. She says this has continued for 2 months. She's not the only one to have had such an experience. Redditor Ritual Maniac writes in the comments that the same knocking pattern occurred at a house she once lived in, along with other paranormal happenings like voices, doors opening, running, etc. When they moved, everything, including the nightmares and unexplainable bad feelings, all vanished. The Redditor says this knocking wasn't heard initially and just started happening randomly as of late. At one point, when her boyfriend lived there, he even heard laughing and whispering. The Redditor said after sending the videos to her grandmother, a pastor was supposed to come and visit, but of course an ongoing event began earlier this year and prevented that. Some in the comments think it's the pipes, others say it's likely a pesky animal, but myself and many others are leaning towards the paranormal. Game of Onions writes, let him in already. Must be cramped in there, but I wouldn't take that advice. A YouTuber named Alyssa Cross is driving down a local road somewhere in the south when she comes across a person who she has never seen before acting quite strangely by the side of the road.
Let's try goggles.
You can hear the nervousness in Alyssa's voice as she and her friend agree that it looks like this person could have some sort of strange virus. Zombie or not, one can only wonder how many other viral outbreaks began in this exact same casual style of conversation. It appears that if that's not the case, then this person is under the influence of something strong. Alyssa quietly drives past and leaves the stranger behind. After a mission to an old haunted railway tunnel, Crypto Girl 13 spied something mysterious in her footage while editing. Published in August of 2013, the Crypto Girl and her friend are navigating through the forest and mud to the mouth of the tunnel. After wading through obstacles of sludge and climbing over large branches, they arrive at the entrance. Zooming into the deep darkness, the video starts glitching out as she talks about the story of a monster living in the tunnel.
Old story that some kind of creature, I think there's some kind of creature that...
Getting closer to the entrance, they hear some creepy noises inside.
That? What's that?
But it was upon editing the footage that they spotted these two glowing red orbs, which they believe to be eyes of the legendary monster. Were they closer to the cryptid than they ever imagined? Or is there something else inhabiting this old railway tunnel? Since it's been almost 10 years, I don't know if this mystery will ever be solved. A YouTube channel called Sanders Fam has a bizarre sighting on their Tesla motion tracking equipment that they think is a paranormal ghost encounter. The dash icon displays a mysterious figure where none is to be found. Detecting invisible people is something their car has never done before, and is quite an odd coincidence considering they're passing through a cemetery at the time. It accurately detects two people a good distance away at 3 minutes and 39 seconds. It keeps happening on the same corner of the same block. The icon of someone riding a bike dashing away from them.
There it is.
They are getting creeped out and wonder what it is. That's when they realize around the corner is the final resting place of a YouTuber named Corey Lavery. They talk about him for a while, and then as they drive away,
There's nobody there.
Now he's walking that way.
something walks by his grave. Now that is certainly a strange series of events. This campus is home to a fixture called the Ghost Lamp, a light with a life of its own. According to legend, a young woman who attended the college took her life when she was kicked out. The woman's soul remains in this light. None of the other lights in this area flicker like this. Redditor Hyperpain thought it was bull until his brother took him there, and then this happened.
There he goes. Up. Can you turn on full bright for my friend Regan? Oh, hi. There it is. See? See? It does that. That's what it does. Okay. See?
It seems to respond to their request, but does that mean it's paranormally activated? An electrician and a priest weigh in the comments. Well, I guess that settles it. The ghost's soul must have some faulty wiring. Green Gables is the name of a fine dining restaurant in Jennerstown, Pennsylvania. The 100-year-old building is said to be haunted to the point where one worker would start recording with their phone whenever they felt something was wrong, and one night they were right.
And I don't know, something doesn't feel right about this place. Like it's I can't even describe what it feels like right now. Like this is just... What is that? Nope, 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 nope.
A shadowy hand definitely just extended across the waist of the statue in my opinion. It doesn't look like a trick of the light or anything like that. These creepy situations are exactly what this century-old haunted estate is known for, so I think it's real. Oh, and one more thing that's weird. Shortly before noping out of there, the employee notices a deep slice across the length of its stone throat. Is this another paranormal sign, or just normal wear and tear? 3 photos and videos were shared on Facebook in Indonesia, showcasing the same strange phenomenon in the sky, posted by Mr. Potek in November of 2019, with a video credited to Setiawan. The unidentified object was filmed in Aceh, backlit by a bright moon. This mysterious flying or floating object appears to just hang there at the side of the moon. The object isn't shaped like a flying saucer, but its origins are equally as mysterious, viewed at several different angles. I don't come any closer to recognizing what this object is. The local police were reportedly terrified by its appearance. Should they be? What do you think it is? This ghostly figure is the Thief of Souls, published by Lanun TV in November of 2021. This man encountered an obscure figure lurking on an empty road at night. After wandering through a quiet village in the late hours, the man spies the silent figure in the darkness.
Ada pinikot! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
He walks in another direction but soon sees the figure again. As he yells at the shadowy figure, it moves away into the darkness.
لا تأخذ سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع الله أكبر من ذا الذي يشفع عنده.
Later, it seems he spies the figure up in the trees, either having climbed it or perhaps even hovering in the air.
الله أكبر سبحان الله الله أكبر.
What does this thing want? I'm guessing his soul. These 2 videos were taken the same day in Zurich, the largest city in Switzerland. They show a mysterious light repeatedly glowing in a cloud above. The light turns on and shuts off over and over again. The light is seen again from another angle. This time it spreads across in multiple segments, and it appears to be pulsing differently. I tend to agree that they're concert lights, but if I didn't know any better, I think the Swiss are about to be abducted. YouTube team Amitav Paranormal Tech YT explore this abandoned place when they capture a spirit manifesting on camera. Upon entering, they hear a banging sound.
Thank you. Nice to be.
This is followed by a door closing. More racket is heard as the REM pod goes off. As they stand in the darkness, the banging continues. Not long after, a spirit manifests on this infrared camera. The cameraman leaves the cell, and when he tries to re-enter, he finds he's no longer welcome. In fact, no one is welcome.
Tá pela filha, calma, gente, calma, menina. Galera, a gente viu o negócio arrastando ali, cara. Vou lá ver. Cara, eu vou ir sozinho, não.
When they do not leave, the spirit doesn't let up.
Ele tá lá na cela, cara. Fica lá de lá.
Tá pela. Calma, amigos, a gente só veio pra conversar.
It has one last scare for the crew, and this one sends them packing. I'll be honest, I'm not sure how they stuck around this long. This place is certainly haunted, and they're lucky to make it out alive. You have probably heard that name, as La Llorona has become quite the legend, especially in Mexico and Latin America, where this video has been getting a ton of attention. This clip, which has been racking up millions of views, appears to be a forest cam video. You can see a figure slowly move across the forest with very slow movements, while many have claimed this is the infamous legend. The flickering effect of the video makes me question the authenticity of it. Nevertheless, even the slightest possibility of this video being real is enough to make it impossible to look away from. You couldn't pay me money to stay in this house. Posted to TikTok by Jen Barari, the TikToker explains that strange things have been happening in her barn-style home. As she's speaking, she hears something, even though she's home alone. She follows the noise. You can hear repeated loud banging coming from the living room. Her cat looks uneasy. When she enters to find no one there, she asks the spirits to stop and leave.
Can you stop?
She then turns to capture her reflection in the television, and it looks like a dark shadow is creeping up behind her. Turning around, there's nothing there. In a later clip, she is showing her viewers the pond outside when a dark shadow passes behind her in the reflection of the window. She walks around the house turning all the lights on, and something starts banging again. She takes this as her cue to leave.
Oh my things. It's okay. It's okay. Holy.
In the comments, TikToker Danny writes, "My electricity bill would be so high because I would never turn a single light off in that house ever." Some say this made their skin crawl. Others suggest sage. Still others say this is beyond sage. I say you should avoid finishing this video unless you're truly brave. Adrian is eating dinner at home when a creepy hand with long slender fingers reaches up to his window. The video stops right before the creature pulls the curtain to reveal itself to the unsuspecting family. Before the monster reaches its hand out, you can kind of see that its silhouette is about the size of a normal person. So while this TikTok video is creepy, I doubt it's real. Some videos have the power to keep us up all night long. As we're drifting off to sleep, they enter into our subconscious, making us sit bolt upright. The fear is real. The fright. This was posted to Reddit with the uploader writing, "My friend is security at the airport, and he saw this through the security cameras." The video shows an American Airlines desk with what appears to be a service door beside it. The airport looks empty. Perhaps the security footage was taken during closing hours. But if it's empty, what makes the door do this? The door swings open aggressively, with no one behind it. These types of doors are usually heavy and secure, and as AstroCath explains in the comments, are often locked or require a manual code to open, so it's unclear how wind or something natural might have burst the door open like this. So what could it be? Theories in the comments range from a ghost running late for a flight to unequal air pressure. Redditor Steve MageGod points out that there's a slight shadow change before the door flings open. So as usually happens, we've got those who think this is paranormal activity on one side, and the skeptics who suggest this could be readily explained on the other. Which side are you on? YouTube channel The Paranormal Road Trippers were sent on a mission by followers to check out one of Canada's most haunted roads.
With our driving experiment of up and down the road, we did not see any ghost dogs, nor did we see a ghost woman. We've sped the video up as we tried the experiment a total of 4 times.
Though the YouTubers did not encounter either the lost lady or the ghost dog, they completed a second experiment.
Is based on a story we've been told that if you leave the keys of the vehicle on the hood with your car turned off, that someone, specifically a girl, will come and take the keys off the hood of the truck. So we're gonna try that out.
And something unusual happened.
What happened? So while we were
My door just opened.
Has the ghost woman had enough of their experiments? Well, I'm not sure if a door falling open is enough to prove this place is haunted. I'm getting some super creepy vibes from this place. I'd keep off Keeping Road if I were you. Ignorance is bliss, and sometimes it's best that certain things remain invisible to the human eye. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Miss Doolittle Tex. This video was taken at the haunted Queen Anne Hotel in San Francisco. Originally posted on YouTube in March of 2020, Tex writes, I have been listening to creepy stories and been watching YouTube videos about ghost investigations and experiences since they existed, which resulted in me paying more attention to my surroundings, heightening my awareness. The Queen Anne Hotel has some history. Located on Sutter Street in San Francisco, initially built as a girls' boarding school, the Queen Anne Hotel is said to be haunted by the former headmistress, Mary Lake. Her office at room 410 is believed to be the most haunted room in the building. The uploader of the video booked this room to stay in overnight. In preparation for the stay, she bought a FLIR thermal cam for her iPhone. She duly notes that the hotel is charming as heck, and she didn't feel anything particularly unsettling while there. That is, until she thermal cammed room 410. She tested out her thermal cam on her husband, on electrical sockets, water lines, and other hot and cold spots. Then she entered the bathroom. Pointing her thermal cam towards the half-closed shower curtain, she started to see a figure in the thermal footage next to her that she believed appeared from behind the curtain. As you can see, there is her own thermal image in its reflection, and not too far away right beside it, another full-sized figure. Could it be Headmistress Mary Lake herself? When going through pictures she took of the room, the uploader also discovered this creepy face in the wallpaper. Do you see it? It's almost like the room is watching you.
I'm so startled right now. I think I may have stumbled across.
While alone in the woods, a YouTuber named Christina Roberts sets her sights on 2 mysterious creatures she has never seen before. They look to be covered in fur and appear to walk upright as they spread out to cover more ground. At 30 seconds, one turns to reveal a broad, hairy back and may even be carrying one of its offspring. The 2 creatures are caught on Christina's camera, but they don't detect her because she is wearing camouflage and quietly whispering to herself out of view. They sit down in a clearing and she uses the opportunity to sneak away. I personally think creatures look to be about normal size and could just be people in gorilla suits. Hundreds of people have left comments agreeing that this is one of the scariest forest creature videos they've ever seen. So I guess I could be wrong. Tell me what you see. A person checks their CCTV to catch whoever busted their side view mirror. It's on the sidewalk side, and therefore absolutely couldn't have been a car. The video does not end at all as expected, when a phantom force snatches the mirror and gives it a twist. Then again, maybe a manufacturer's bolt, or something came loose here at 2 seconds. Point is, I've never seen a car mirror do something like this, all by itself before. Have you? A ghost hunter doesn't even get his equipment fully set up before he detects a paranormal presence on camera. Look how quickly this shadow moves by. The shadow moves way too fast and also turns in the opposite direction as he does, meaning it can't belong to him. Here's the shadow from a second angle, this time taken from the handheld camera. Clearly, this shadow is caused by something off camera, but whether it's human or not is up for you to decide. This may be the best unidentified flying object footage ever captured on camera, at least according to Redditor FL1P1. The Redditor writes that pilot Jorge Ortega caught this well up in the air. Judge for yourself. What in the heck was that? Some in the comments think this is a balloon, others think it's an unknown extraterrestrial aircraft. Like many are saying, I think it could be a stationary balloon that appears to be moving due to the aircraft moving, but I don't think this video is conclusive either way. I'm not sure it's the best unidentified flying object footage, but it certainly is intriguing. A YouTuber named Tate Stein Seek is investigating an old building in Oklahoma City that was once a psychiatric institute. He claims that around 4 a.m. he experiences paranormal activity and wants to document it. This time, a black container slides across the ground on its own. Watch this part and tell me if there's any way to fake this.
Alright, did you guys just see that?
I would say that it was a rope or something tied around the container, but it happens again much closer, and I don't know how this could be faked.
Did you guys can see that? Okay.
He even shows it up close, and you can see nothing is attached to it at all, and nothing special is inside, so your guess is as good as mine. There's something more to this cemetery than what meets the eye. Published by KBC Cazadores de Fantasmas in January of 2022, crew senses a presence at the Seaway Cemetery. As they're wandering through the grounds, something makes a sound behind the wall. They all run to different parts of the wall to try and look in. Nothing is beyond it. Later, a strange light flashes, again from behind the wall in the graveyard. Something is sinister here, but I'm not sure what. Despite its name, the doll room in the historic Jefferson Hotel is a sinister place, and this video shared by the hotel's YouTube channel confirms this. Listen closely.
Some more dolls to our doll room. That particular doll is over 100 years old.
As you can see, the manager hears a noise down the hallway, and as soon as he turns to look, one of the dolls falls down in the room. Listen again. He enters to see what happens.
Another little video tour that I do when we add some more items to the rooms or whatever. So we added some more dolls to this room, which is our dolls and stuff room. And as I walked in the room, I heard a noise going down the hall right there.
He replaces the doll. But it doesn't get any less creepy. To me, it looks like it's watching him. What looks to be an oversized bird slowly turns to reveal a human-shaped head. Listen and try to translate if you can.
Maje, ¿qué esa onda? ¿Estás viendo eso?
At approximately 12 seconds into the video, the legs and abdomen appear to be of an insect. At 13 seconds, the fully outstretched wings have a ridged webbing that closely resembles a bat. Any guesses as to what this is? What is this blue sphere spinning in the sky? Shared by YouTuber Arte Morbid, this video was captured by Juanito Juan in Valle Hermoso, Mexico. The footage was taken at around 2:30 in the morning. Up close, the unidentified flying object looks like this.
for you.
When?
It was drifting over this man's house for around 30 minutes before it vanished. It certainly doesn't look like anything identifiable to me, but is it extraterrestrial? I do think the increased activity in this area might indicate something mysterious is going on. Bob Osborne flies down a bumpy mountainous road in Bolivia with little concern for his health or safety. The 7-minute downhill race is filled with large rocks like this one. He navigates the obstacle just in time. Look how slow this van is driving. That's the appropriate speed for such a treacherous road, yet it's quickly passed. Keep in mind this vehicle could easily kick a rock straight into their dirt bike at any time and send them careening to their doom. They eventually make it to the bottom of the mountain still in one piece. I just hope Bob Osborne performs regular maintenance on his bike, because this looks like the type of road that could snap a tire clean off at any time. If your apartment is this haunted, it's time to pack up and leave. This creepy investigation by YouTuber Seeker of Ghosts reveals some extreme poltergeist activity. It starts with the chimes. Then the poltergeist moves on to this cup.
Yeah, cool. Yep. Let's see, go. Wait,
A moment later, a stool moves. Later, the TV turns on by itself. This is shortly followed by the kitchen door closing on its own. Apparently, this ghost doesn't know if he wants in or out. It's not clear what decision he eventually made, but it's clear to me that this place is really haunted. And the result is this scary video that I wish wasn't so scary. It's midnight when this ladder starts walking by itself in an apartment building garage. It looks like it has to be the work of a ghost, but it's actually on a very gradual ramp moving down. This middle section of the ladder, called a spreader, looks like it's too worn out to lock in place anymore, and so the ladder almost tips over and then catches itself, taking another step forward in the process. But still, somebody has to bump the ladder first to get it moving. So if this just spontaneously happened out of nowhere, then that's a cause for concern. Mark Bennick from the Netherlands has caught what he calls a real scary ghost video on tape, paranormal evidence that he claims is the best, most undeniable proof of the other side. He and a friend named Luke go exploring an abandoned farmhouse that's beyond creepy even in broad daylight. The inside feels off and continues to give them every impression that the place is haunted. Eventually they come across basement steps leading deeper inside. Going down them is a big mistake.
Oh, cold apple. Tapas. Leer. Holy. Dit is zo extreem erg.
He finds Luke hunched over, gasping for breath, and soon he is not feeling too good himself.
Dit is zo extreem erg.
The investigation ends early. Something got them down there, but they don't know what. They suspect this is the best paranormal evidence ever recorded, but it probably has to do more with being in an abandoned basement with not so good air quality. To further prove my point, Luke, who is down there slightly longer, probably breathed in more tainted air and seemed to have gotten the worst of it out of them both. Or maybe that's also the way it worked with paranormal energy too. We'll never know for sure. The point is, exploring abandoned houses is more risky than you'd think for many reasons, aside from the paranormal, so I would never recommend doing it yourself. Do the spirits of the past on linger where they took their last breath on Earth? They might, as this video from YouTuber Terror Latente suggests. A hospital worker wanders around the empty corridors of a hospital. When they capture a glimpse of something while rounding a corner, watch closely. Did you see her? Here's the footage again, slowed down. There's definitely a figure there, and when the camera pans back moments later, she's gone. This capture really gives me the chills. I feel this is a genuine ghost, a spirit whose life ended here in this hospital. What do you think? This security camera footage taken from inside a Reddit user's home doesn't seem to be anything unusual. That is, not at first. Although the house looks as peaceful and as quiet as can be, in just a matter of seconds, something both eerily mysterious and also quite creepy occurs that the original uploader cannot explain. So I think this is, for starters, what they're talking about. It doesn't exactly look like an orb, but it's kind of got like a trail that it's leaving behind. What the heck is that? That is so weird. It's just sort of leaving behind a trail of itself. You kind of just see it's like it's the same shape, just sort of over and over again, leaving a trail behind it as it flies across the screen. And then at the very end just sort of completely drops to the ground. Even though this kind of video could probably be described as a little more unsettling than straight up scary, it is definitely not the kind of footage you would want to find on your security camera upon waking up and reviewing whatever was filmed while you were asleep. The strange floating white object almost looks like it could be some sort of spinning battery-powered toy, but I feel like if that were the case, the parents would ask their kid if it was their toy and the mystery would be solved. But since the uploader is still baffled by the footage, I think it's safe to say that it was not a toy. Whatever it is remains a mystery. This terrifying footage was filmed in an elevator in Chile. Jose Acevedo gets on the lift and presses the button. Little does he know that this will be the ride that changes his life forever. As soon as the button is pressed, the doors violently snap shut and the elevator lurches upwards. Jose knows that something is majorly wrong and immediately presses the emergency stop button. Instead of stopping, however, the elevator climbs even faster. There's literally nothing for the man to do except repeatedly push the button, while panicking as the elevator races up 31 floors in less than 15 seconds. Finally, he begins to swat at every button, adrenaline taking over as he desperately hopes that just one button will work and bring an end to this terrible ride. He is absolutely helpless and appears to be too scared to even scream. Unfortunately for him, the only thing stopping this elevator is the roof itself. The elevator slams into the top of the building at full speed, and inside, Jose's broken body slams against the crumpled walls. He survives somehow, but now he has severe head and leg injuries. Also, the damage to his spine means he is sadly unlikely to ever walk again. A Redditor named Danny3LG are making a funny video when they accidentally capture a morose visitor in the process. Something taller than the entertainment center looks out and ducks from view. In the split second, I see the top of its head, along with a pale brow and two solid black eyes. If not a ghost, what else could this be? There's some terror to be had in this abandoned structure. Published by Terror Extremo, this paranormal explorer first encounters these creepy bats hanging upside down like untransformed vampires. The ambiance is set now, and it grows as the cameraman comes across this piece of artwork painted on a stone wall. Is this divining what will come? When he continues to explore the area, suddenly he hears a scream. This is accompanied by what sounds like a blast or some other loud noise. Who is screaming out in this remote wilderness? And what was the sound that followed? Which one of us volunteers to wait around and find out? This unexplained shadow was uploaded by a paranormal ghost hunter named K. Owen. I think it could just be a fast-moving insect, especially since this was recorded on a summer night in the South, but according to K, this is the spirit of a poltergeist in Kentucky who eventually went on to become quite destructive. If Kay's story is to be believed, then this unexplained shadow is the spirit of a person who took a woman's life in this camper years ago. The deranged paranormal entity would eventually go on to destroy the camper by burning it down just 2 weeks into the paranormal investigation. Dominic Marquez of Albuquerque, New Mexico, says you're definitely going to believe his ghost sighting caught on CCTV video is real when you see it. Somebody is walking down the street when all of a sudden, they're simply not.
There he is. You're moving too fast. Up yet. Ghost.
That's extreme, dog.
The person morphs into a floating orb and briefly becomes human again, before going back into its second form. And to top off an already bizarre video, this creepy thing happens next.
Bro, I'm saying there's nobody there.
The neighbor's rather bright motion detector lights turn on when the ghost walks by. Nothing's there. If it was a CCTV glitch on Dominic's camera, then why would motion lights go on across the street? It looks like he was right about me believing this paranormal video is real. This dog's owner says it can see a ghost in the same hallway that they are in.
It's okay.
Her dog is definitely looking at something it doesn't want to go near at all. It keeps a wide distance and absolutely refuses to go past this line.
Come on. Come on. Come here. Come here.
Listen, when your full-grown dog is barking nervously and actually backing towards the door to get away, it's time to get the heck out of that room yourself. But at 36 seconds, the dog does kind of look over to a framed picture on the wall. Maybe it saw its own reflection in the surface and started freaking out. But that's just my guess. Every culture has its own folklore, but the banana tree ghost of Asia is particularly creepy. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit. We've seen banana tree ghosts in the past, but this one is extra spooky. Alien Angel writes, "Ghost girl crying in a banana tree patch. It is unbelievable what happens towards the end. Traditionally, the ghost hides out in wild banana trees and is with a green complexion, full black hair, and bright red lips. She remains incognito there until full moon drives her out of the darkness, which is when she is made visible at night. Often she is seen standing without touching the ground. Her lower half is represented as not solid, but wispy, like an extension from the trunk of the tree itself. Apart from the tree's fruits being inedible, many don't grow this type of banana tree in their compounds or homes because of their haunted nature. This is also why if you cut a banana tree from the clump in Thailand, it's seen as a bad omen, while the witch is believed to be for the most part a good witch, even going so far as to offer food to Buddhist monks who pass her by. With this bit of background, take a look at this video. The Wailing Witch is clearly visible in this banana tree. Her long black hair and light green shirt seen amongst the giant banana leaves. What isn't clear is why she's crying like this. Or is that crying coming from the person viewing the witch? Is it a cry of fear? The viewer doesn't have to be afraid for long, as the witch soon vanishes, flashing up out of the tree and out of sight. While some in the comments say this is surely a witch, others aren't so sure. Redditor Pete318 shares his own personal view, writing, "There are some areas where spirit people congregate, and you can tell these areas by several things you feel when near them. Whether you believe in the haunting of nature or not, this video is proof that there are some things out there that will forever remain a mystery." What hides in the shadows can oftentimes be shadows themselves. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Mego White, the Redditor explains that she and her husband were away from home over a weekend and set up the motion detector Alfred camera app in their room for surveillance. When they returned from their trip, they were met with this unusual and terrifying video. The clip shows a fuzzy bedroom backdropped by a doorway with either a light on beyond or a natural source of light casting inside the other room. That light shifts as something is apparently moving enough to set off the motion sensor. In fact, that something appears to pass right across the doorway, blocking out the light beyond for a moment. You can make out a distinct figure. It's more like a shadow or a vague or even invisible figure that still somehow manages to distort the light. There is definite movement, but from what, we can't know for sure. Redditor JJ740 asks if there was an intrusion, to which Meg answers that all the doors and windows were locked and nothing was missing. She also notes that strange things have been occurring in this house for a matter of months. Like what? Meg explains we can always see a shadow walking out of the office through the wall into my closet, and I always thought I was seeing things until we caught this on camera. She also says in another comment that her kids have heard people talking, and her 2-year-old has even started laughing at something in empty rooms of the home. A Redditor writes, "That's actually genuinely creepy." Of course, as with every potentially paranormal clip, you have your insect theories, but most agree that the clip looks legit and not edited or faked. What do you think? Are you freaked out? I certainly am.
Okay, there is actually no wind.
That's really close. Was it no?
Scary noises are coming from the end of a dark alleyway. Scary noises that sound more like a creature than a human.
Right, I don't want to go down. You've got night vision. You go down. How do you get the night vision? You just press the button on the side of the camera. That one.
Oh my... It's someone's telly? Pete, it's someone's telly.
He turns on the night vision just in time to catch the flash of 2 large eyes the size of dinner plates and maybe 7 or 8 feet from the ground. They call out into the darkness and are greeted by a snarling creature that is finally caught on video.
You want to find out?
First, the eyes are visible once more at 1 minute and 17 seconds, moments before it comes at them, and right before they drop the camera to run, there is a blur of a mysterious creature on all 4s running them down.
Lisa's not dog behind us now. Throw us over there.
A man and a woman are enjoying a private plane ride, when suddenly their pilot slumps over and becomes unresponsive. Watch the trees and you'll see the plane is really sideways and they are really freaking out. It looks like she is going to take off her safety belt and jump when the pilot springs back to life and everyone starts laughing. Everyone but her. Do you think this joke went too far? I think there's a certain line between tasteful and terrifying that they may have crossed, and any prank where you fly with your eyes closed probably isn't the best idea. This YouTuber is exploring a scary abandoned place in India when their adventure goes wrong at 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
நம்ம ஓபன் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்க டைம்ல நம்ம விக்கி கிட்ட கேட்போம். விக்கி விக்கி வாங்க.
It looks like a real ghost sighting at first, but somebody walks right in front of a light, so that could be what's making the shadow figure appear. Still, it's bizarre enough to make them leave, and when they look back, they see a ghost in the window. The light passes by the window one time, doubles back, and there it is, another ghost sighting. Look again though, and you'll see it was actually standing in the window the entire time. This could be a shadow person, a djinn, or one of their friends wearing a cloak. They claim it was a ghost, but I'm not sure. You're exploring a dark underground mine, water dripping, echoes, silence, and then you hear this. posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Resurrect. The Redditor was on an adventure through the Dissido mine in Arizona when he heard what he describes as footsteps on wood coming from deep within the tunnel. He says he and his crew were the only ones there at the time. Would you hightail it out of there or wait to see who or what was approaching? Well, most in the comments are already racing for the hills. Redditor JD250 offers a potential explanation. He writes, "When I was a kid, I lived up in Tennessee right on an old mine used by the town for storing stuff in the early 1800s, and I would hear sounds like these." Although JD says that he doesn't personally believe in ghosts, he admits to sensing the presence of pain and suffering in a place. On another note, the Redditor felt angry and hostile vibes in the place and insisted that it felt like something terrible had occurred in that mine, and he didn't want to know what it was. He also notes that his stepfather felt he couldn't breathe at one point, and not from overexertion. Do you think this could be explained naturally, or is something haunting this mining tunnel? Wherever you stand, myself and most agree that this is one of the creepiest videos posted. This mysterious footage was captured on camera by videographer Daniel Hobbit back in 1989, shared by YouTube channel This Is The End. The mystery continues. Watch for the Black Mass. You can't miss it. Invited to a haunted home by a frightened couple who live there. Hobbit captured this strange shadow figure in one corner of the room.
Video in the home of a very frightened couple, convinced they were living with a disturbed...
While panning the camera, Hobbit also captured this in the mirror.
Hobbit even caught the apparition reflected in a mirror. This shot persuades many top researchers that we are witnessing a real...
According to the channel, the family moved from this home soon after. The footage has convinced some YouTubers of paranormal activity, and others have even experienced something similar. Given that this was recorded on VHS at a time where CGI would have been rare, I'm sold that this is real paranormal activity captured on camera. What do you think? It's every thrill seeker's worst nightmare. Published by Robbie8984 in January of 2012, this pair was strapped into an amusement park ride in Alton, Illinois, ready for the thrill of their lives when the belt snapped on one of their seats. As the ride takes off, the woman starts to panic when she sees her harness come unstrapped. Luckily, the harness doesn't seem to be necessary as the primary lock keeps her securely in place. Many in the comments say these belts are just fail-safe to give riders a sense of security. Either way, imagine seeing your sense of security come undone in the middle of being tossed through the air by a roller coaster. Willard is hiking Horseshoe Falls in Colorado when he decides he wants to try to climb a cliff. The path is steeper than it looks, and soon he has to put more of his weight on the rocks, which look kind of loose to begin with. Rushing waters are below him, and when he admits defeat and tries to climb back down, everything goes wrong. A large rock comes loose and thankfully rolls the opposite way. Instead of onto his head, he wedges himself between two rocks and says that if he lost his footing, he could have been taken underwater. Meanwhile, his friend looks back with hardly a care. Overall, I'm just glad he didn't break anything, or else it would have been a long and expensive airlift to the nearest hospital. A team of ghost hunters are inside of an abandoned home when they catch what appears to be a transparent phantasm at the top of the stairs.
Hold still for a second. Hello?
I'll admit that I did not see what they were talking about at first, but when you replay the video at half speed, it's easier to see a clear outline of a person's head and shoulders. The figure starts out facing the camera and then darts through a door on the right. I'm not sure if this is CGI or not, but let me know if you can see it, and if so, what you think it was. Strange and mysterious activity was caught on a home security camera when an orb of light spills into 3 different directions and promptly disappears, soon materializing into a stranger who crosses onto their property while in a transparent state.
Push.
The home CCTV system has multiple cameras, and for 2 minutes they watch the stranger mysteriously disappear and come back numerous times. At 37 seconds, when it looks like it's gone, they zoom in to find a large orb with smaller orbs mysteriously floating away. Soon, the see-through outline of the stranger is caught on camera once again. According to the description of this creepy video, the human-like apparition appears to be walking down some train tracks, possibly haunting the very same place where his life was lost. After a while, the figure crosses their security camera, its lights go out, and the family has a fearful reaction as it disappears from sight once and for all. I think this could be a real ghost video and not a glitch because it never freezes, compresses, or shows any obvious visual artifacts. It's 5:36 in the morning, hours before anyone should be inside of the Safety Harbor Public Library in Florida. Everything looks to be in order until this book goes flying off the shelf for absolutely no reason. The opening librarian was surprised to find a book lying perfectly balanced on the floor the next day, so they checked the security camera only to find this strange occurrence. Even if this was set up and someone was standing on the other side of the shelf to push a book to the ground, there's no way they could have made the book balance perfectly on its side like that. It really is as if a poltergeist purposefully made the book land in that position, so as to attract as much fearful suspicion as possible. And apparently it worked. A YouTuber named Tommy Case is in the basement of an abandoned house when his flashlight crosses over someone wearing an all black and white stretched out face mask. Tommy Case runs away, but soon he has to turn his flashlight back on if he ever hopes to find the exit. Instead, he finds the same person again, but this time he manages to escape without looking back. Since the person just stands there and never reaches out for him, I think this is almost definitely a skit, but a well done one all the same. What should you do when the Ouija board answers you? Published to the r/ghosts subreddit, Nepa Smash asks viewers their thoughts on this scary video, which was filmed during a Ouija board session in a haunted room of their home. In the clip, the group asks if any spirits would like to communicate. After a moment, there is an alarming bang off screen.
Are there any spirits that would like to communicate with us?
Two of the boys look up. Right before the bang, however, another mysterious action unfolds, but it's hard to see if you don't know it's there. A paintbrush is thrown across the room. Although it's difficult to tell in the video, this Imgur photo shows the incident in more detail. Many in the thread think a non-supernatural explanation might be that the guy laying on the floor off to the right could have played a trick on the other somehow, but some note that he doesn't even seem to react. As for the knock, well, the combination of the knock and the projectile does seem uncanny. Setting the rest aside, Redditor Eekecum draws the right conclusion. Please tell me you closed out of the Ouija board after that. Who knows what might have happened if they didn't? In the woods near Crybaby Bridge, this paranormal crew asks the spirit if he likes their company, and the spirit answers. Published by Hauntings of Ohio in February of 2020, this scary paranormal communication was captured on video. The video shows the crew communicating through a spirit box. After posting the video, this is the answer they receive.
Do you like her company?
What the?
The guys say this is one of the clearest and most demonic voices they've ever caught on camera. Terrifying though it is, at least the answer was yes.
Do you like her company?
What the? Dude!
That was crystal clear, dude.
Yes.
Images sometimes crop up on Google Maps Street View that are incredibly suspect. This Google capture is a bit more supernatural. Published to YouTube by The Hidden Underbelly 2.0 in August of 2018. This image was captured at Martha Chapel Cemetery in Huntsville, Texas. As one of the country's oldest cemeteries, Martha Chapel was built in the early 19th century. According to travel guide expert Dana Goolsby, the road leading to the cemetery is nicknamed Demon's Road. It earned this nickname from alleged encounters with the spirits that haunt the area. According to Goolsby, visitors to the cemetery sometimes find large handprints on their vehicles. Is something supernatural making its mark? According to the Houston Chronicle, the Google Maps Street View image was uploaded to YouTube in August of 2018, where it started trending. The image shows headstones near a fence line, surrounded by trees. Behind one of these trees hides a ghostly little girl. The grayish tint of her skin gives her a phantom glow as she peers around the corner of the tree. But wait, that's not the only haunting figure in view. Behind the fence line, walking amongst tall tombstones, is a dark cloaked figure. The phantom being definitely looks out of place. Maybe the cloaked figure is seeking this girl. We hope it doesn't find her. While out on his porch, this young man spots two green eyes peering back at him from the darkness. Published in June of 2020, Jimmy Reynolds lives near the edge of the woods, so it would be safe to assume that any number of woodland creatures are nearby. But what kind of creature is this? He approaches the eyes in the darkness, speaking out to it.
What the hell? See, there it is. Hey! Oh, what the f***? You'll see that.
But as he gets closer, it apparently runs off. Jimmy thinks it could be a cat or a dog, but people in the comments are of the opinion that it's something much larger. Some say it's a skinwalker or a crawler. Others say it could be a forest ghoul. Cat Anonymous writes, "It's probably stalking your house for food. Not sure if it eats humans. In any case, this dude better lock his doors." Perhaps the film night at the museum wasn't too far off. This statue, located in England's Manchester Museum, appears to come to life. The ancient Egyptian statue dates back to around 1800 BC, and perhaps is cursed by an ancient Egyptian spell. According to the museum's curator, Campbell Price, one day he noticed the 10-inch statue had turned entirely around. As reported by Manchester Evening News, Price said, "I thought it was strange because it is in a case, and I'm the only one who has a key." When Price moved it back to its original position, he found it had moved again the very next day. He decided the next step was to set up a time-lapse video, but the video raised more questions than it answered, as the statue was caught red-handed rotating counterclockwise on its own by increments that wouldn't appear visible to the human eye. This occurs only during the daytime. The statue is still at night. While an Egyptian spell isn't off the table, one British physicist thinks the movement can be explained by something called differential friction. Brian Cox says this friction is caused by the footsteps of museum goers, whose vibration moves the statue during the day. Price, however, calls this into question, as the statue has been housed at the museum since the early 20th century, and it hasn't moved before. It also appears to be turning in a perfect circle and only up to 180 degrees, so that it's facing backward. Even more interesting, on the rear of the statue is an inscription requesting offerings of bread, oxen, and fowl. Perhaps this is the answer. The statue needs to be fed. Sidestep Adventures is surprised to actually find what he's been looking for out in the Georgia woods.
You stepped on it? Oh wow. Here it is.
Another person's grave. They carefully reassemble it and respectfully read her name out loud.
Yep, here it is. Sacred to the memory of Mrs. Jane, and died November 3rd, 18 1843.
Under the heavy marker, they find a crushed bouquet of flowers left by a loved one. The petals are in excellent condition and largely retain their color. Finding fresh flowers under a more than 100-year-old grave is already weird enough, but then Sidestep Adventures reads more and realizes who this Mrs. Jane is to him.
And Stacy Duckworth and Samuel were my great-great-great-grandparents. So she was actually a half-sister to my great-great-grandfather.
So let's recap. He literally stumbles across an extremely concealed grave in the middle of the woods. Fresh flowers are underneath despite the grave being from 1843. Then he discovers it's a long-lost relative and has to admit that this seems like it could be fate.
Well, we did find it somehow. I tell you, if you hadn't stepped on it, we wouldn't have.
It's almost as if the spirit of his ancestor was waiting to be found. Ghost hunting expert Stephen Lancaster leads a paranormal investigation in an attic that's believed to be haunted. Voices and footsteps are said to be heard ever since a previous owner lost their life up here. After setting up paranormal surveillance equipment, Stephen waits for a while and hears scary noises. I definitely heard something in the corner just a few feet away from Steven. Here's what he has to say. I think he's telling the truth, but let me know if you detect any giveaways in his voice.
Somebody was walking around. Somebody whispered something to me.
Redditor ZZZ747's neighbor's CCTV camera captured something strange, and they just want some answers. Watch the top right corner of the yard. A strange smoke figure drifts into view before curling up the side of the house and then vanishing completely. While it could be exactly what it looks like, smoke, it appears and disappears in a strange way. Watch again. Some in the comments think it's just someone vaping, others think it's a dryer vent. I think it could be either of these things, but I agree with the Redditor that it does seem to appear out of nowhere, and its behavior seems odd. What do you think it is? While a DJ was closing a nightclub, he heard something bone-chilling. YouTuber Dark Moose shares this creepy video. Listen closely. You can hear a woman scream. She then starts shouting for help. Also captured in the video is a figure or figures walking past in the background.
Hearing this late at night is unsettling, that even people walking nearby feel unsafe and flee.
Some in the comments are wondering why the crew seems so chill while hearing this scream, and they don't seem to be in any rush to help. Others suggest that this is a common tactic to lure unsuspecting victims into being robbed, or worse, ending their life. I'm not sure what exactly is going on here, but if there's any truth to the last suggestion, I'm now going to be paranoid whenever someone cries out for help. It sucks that we live in a world where we hesitate to come to someone's aid because it may be a trap, but unfortunately, that's the possibility. The world is filled with lost radio signals from long ago. One of these many mystery stations was this broadcast from East Germany that started in the 1970s. We still don't know what it was, only that it sounded like it could drive a person to madness if they listened for long enough. Every so often, the overwhelming wall of noise would give way to a group of men singing in twisted voices. Maybe it's just me, but this almost sounds like some kind of ancient ritual or chant. The broadcast abruptly stopped in 1990 after about 20 years. Give me your best guess as to what this broadcast was used for. Because I haven't the slightest clue. A YouTuber named Unknowns posted this trail cam footage he caught while camping at the foot of Maple Mountain in Ontario. For 2 nights in a row, a strange and loud humming noise made him pass out from 8 at night until 11 in the morning the next day. At first you can only see this curly, out of focus object, but it's actually the arm of this giant creature. If it is a costume, it's really good, and I wouldn't even know where to step in. The blob glows pure white as it curiously handles the camera, then its glow extends to the tree behind. Unknowns claims he had no idea what was camping with him those 2 nights. Do you believe him? I certainly do. What is it like to have a bad encounter with a demon? You're about to find out. Published by Dark Life in December of 2021, this ghost hunter is thrown from above and not so politely asks why he came. When he asks who she is, she responds, and when he later asks that she state her name, her real voice comes out.
Yeah, she was here. I think so.
Later, when no one is answering him, he hears a noise coming from the next room, and that something appears to get aggressive with him, pulling him to the ground. That's when his battery runs out. Did he make it out alive? Well, this video did make its way online, but let's say only the demon knows for sure. Nursing homes are rife with elderly spirits that just cannot move on. This surveillance footage may have caught one of them. Posted to YouTube by Rice RV4 in September of 2012, this clip is surveillance footage of the Niles Nursing Center, as indicated by the sign in the hallway. The clip shows the elevator door drawing open with no one exiting. Then off to the right, what appears to be a cane slides across the floor in the hallway. It also moves to one side apparently on its own, before several people are seen passing through the hallway. And someone finally picks the cane up and places it out of harm's way, leaning it against the wall. The cane then disappears altogether without anyone making an appearance. YouTube commenters suggest that the ghost may have been trying to trip people with the placement of the cane. One commenter in particular, Siege Crows, suggests that they have some inside info on the case. He writes, "Super surprised that this got out after how hard the nurses and the people are trying to keep it a secret." In response to this, YouTuber Silent Night Crew states that he was an off-duty cop working security the night that this happened, and the man who leaked it was fired. Whether or not this is true, I think it's safe to say you wouldn't want to be working security when something like this happens. An adventurer in India sees something truly chilling.
खड़ी हुई है अस्तगफुरुल्लाह ये तो वही चुड़ैल है ये कोई औरत खड़ी हुई है नीचे हम छत के ऊपर आए हैं कैमरे उतारने के लिए और ये औरत नीचे खड़ी हुई है अब इधर से
He diverts his horrified gaze, and when he looks up, it's gone, but not for long.
ये आप देख सकते हैं ये कमरे भी आप देख सकते हैं लॉक किए हुए हैं इन्होंने ये आप सुन सकते हैं
Red blotches on the curtains mark where an apparition has touched the cloth. I did not see these handprints here moments before. He goes outside and finds a drastic change of weather, further evidence of displeasing a powerful spirit.
ये आप देख सकते हैं ये आवाज़ें भी आप सुन सकते हैं
He turns around to go inside for shelter, only to be greeted by the sound of a child's voice through a partially open door.
अभी दोस्तों हम इधर से जा रहे हैं इंशाल्लाह नेक्स्ट टाइम हम जब आएंगे किसी बुजुर्ग को साथ में लेकर आएंगे
He wisely decides to wait out the storm outside and does not go back in. I suppose he figures it would be quicker and less scary to chance it with the lightning, rather than return to whatever poltergeist activity is waiting for him there. This video comes from a YouTuber named Kusun2. He's a college student with an original Xbox that has a very strange and unexplainable problem. Every time he is hanging out by himself, his console likes to turn itself on. This happens so often that Kusun2 decides to record it for evidence. The only problem is that this Xbox appears to be camera shy. He'll stare and stare at it and it won't do a thing. It only seems to turn on when he is doing something else, almost as if it's trying to distract him. Even now as he films his Xbox and explains his story, it refuses to turn on by itself and makes him look like a fool. After talking for about 5 minutes, Kusun2 finally decides to test his theory and leaves the room. The Xbox does nothing for a long time, but then keep in mind that there's no way to turn on an original Xbox remotely, and he always keeps his controller neatly wrapped up on the top of the system, so he can't be using a controller that's out of sight. On top of that, things have been regularly disappearing and reappearing on their own, and now Kusun2 is extremely creeped out about being alone. A YouTuber named Yuya makes a video about microwavable desserts, but it accidentally turns into a creepy doll video instead. The doll is caught moving on camera at 7 minutes and 14 seconds.
Los amo con el alma entera.
The doll moves its arms by itself at the end of the video for no reason at all. It has nothing to do with the topic of the video, and everyone is pointing out how weird it was. I don't think she was doing this for views, because if so, then it would most likely happen in the very beginning. Besides that, with over 20 million subscribers, Yuya is already a successful YouTuber and wouldn't need to do something like this for attention anyway. It never happens again, and hasn't happened since as far as I know. But if any other creepy doll videos end up on her channel, which I have a feeling they will, then I will be sure to give them a full analysis. Who is Standing in the Shadows? Published in December of 2021, the Cornish Ghost Whispers Paranormal UK team managed to capture a full-body apparition of what appears to be a man. The footage was taken at South Wheel Francis Tin Mine. In the darkness between two large pillars, a dark figure manifests before their very eyes. The woman says hello to the apparition several times, but receives no answer.
Keep sharing, guys. Look at this. Hello? Hello?
She points out on camera where the figure appears. Do you see the Tin Mine Man? Or is it just a trick of the light? A janitor is closing up a restaurant in San Francisco called The Chapel, which is said to be haunted by the ghost of a small girl. As soon as he is done locking the door, something tries to leave and then runs away. If she was afraid of getting locked in, why didn't she bang on the door to be let out? Also, how come she didn't say anything when all of the lights turned off? On the contrary, if this was instead a real person trying to sneak in, then she probably wouldn't immediately try to open the door because it could set off an alarm. I guess she could just be making sure the janitor really is leaving. But since this restaurant is said to be haunted by the ghost of a small girl, I believe this could be her. It's late at night when an unusual looking mist makes the driver pull over and start recording. Something is off about the scenery. It doesn't look or feel natural, and less than a minute later, this appears directly in front of them. First orbs dance all around, and then the fog clumps together to form a phantom reaching out. I've never seen fog behave like this, and the way it rises looks just like a person standing up. There's no denying the shape is human, and if you look close enough, you can make out its entire body, head, shoulders, arms, and all. The phantom vanishes as quickly as it came, leaving the person standing by the side of the road wondering what they really just saw. You may think you're alone, but are you really? Posted to TikTok by Tayasha, this one is bound to give you the heebie-jeebies. On what looks to be a stormy night, the TikToker is walking around an abandoned building when she spots this in the window. The dark-haired figure appears ghoulish, staring out at the passerby. What do you think this mystery figure wants, and who is it waiting for? This has either gotta be the paranormal or a very elaborate hoax. There's simply no in-between. After having a bout of inactivity in their very haunted house, YouTubers Lainey and Ben are back with new poltergeist interactions. They perform a ritual to try and contact their known poltergeists, and their poltergeists appear to oblige. Well, kind of.
Can you manipulate the light on this candle, this flame? You make the K2, this is the K2 meter, can you make that flash?
The spirit doesn't follow directions.
Can you do that again, David? Can you do the K2 again? Long time no speak, poor Dave.
Lainey and Ben have previously discovered one of their poltergeists is named David. Listen closely as David speaks through a spirit app. That sounded like the spirit said David to me. He's confirming he's there, but what does he want? It looks to me like Lainey and Ben will have to dig deeper to find out. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by A Growing Lotus, filmed in the Inland Empire in Southern California, this redditor suspects these lights are a part of an unidentified flying object. Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about.
Right, doing.
Is there 3 of them?
Well, that's like 3. What do you say? But then, Mom, stars keep the headlines.
Keep recording it, because that is weird. And the way they're moving, like up and down, airplanes don't do that. Airplanes don't move up and down like that.
And it's not a drone either.
What? The other one's kind of disappearing.
There was certainly some debate about this video in the comments. Adventurous Ad 2736 wondered if they were paper lanterns, to which the uploader responded saying, "They move too fast up and down and I don't think paper lanterns can do that." And Faded Claws YT wrote, "It's probably just those drones people use for light shows and stuff," to which the uploader responded saying, "They didn't look like drones in person, but who knows? They were extremely bright. You can't tell in the video unfortunately, and they disappeared eventually. So which side are you on here? Paper lanterns, drones, or a legit unidentified flying object? Let me know in the comments."
I thought I was hallucinating at first.
And then the other one's like already
disappearing. I'm having like a really weird deja vu feeling.
Just go wait now.
But the other one's kind of disappearing. Did they just disappear?
There's the one right there. There's 2 on that side.
Sometimes paranormal clips will make you doubt, other times they'll make you believe. This one belongs in the latter category. A Paranormal Journey published this spine-tingling footage in February of 2019, stating that after returning from a break in their investigation, they captured this. In entering a dark room that looks a bit like an attic, the cameraman walks a few steps before muttering and stumbling. What did he see? A close-up shows a slow-moving, full-bodied apparition glide past in the back of the room. The uploader states that seconds after capturing this clip, they heard running footsteps and a loud bang.
Sound like someone running.
Jeez. Hello?
They claim the building was locked and the only ones there were the 2 of them. They shout hello, but no one answers. Those in the comments agree that they should have tracked whatever it was down, human or apparition. YouTuber Kevin Salter wrote, "I usually sit on the fence when it comes to stuff like this, but after seeing this footage this morning, it gave me the shivers. Great footage. What do you think? Is this figure a squatter or a ghost?" A real demon sighting is caught on camera according to an uploader named Esoteric Boy, a dark shadow haunting his room. He lightens the photo to reveal a tall mysterious figure with horns. Strangest of all, the alleged demon has a goat-like face and no reflection in the mirror. Considering he has editing software, I think this could possibly be photoshopped. But if not, then it's time never to go into the room again. This next video, made to raise awareness, is supposed to replicate voices in your head. Among the many visual and audio delusions is one in particular that really gets to me, a girl with no eyes who appears at random. The girl with no eyes is apparently very common and reported by many. The following scene is an example of how she usually comes to them, or rather for them.
She is here.
Nowhere is safe from the girl with no eyes, because once she is in your mind, there's nowhere to hide. This is what it's supposed to be like when she finds you. No one knows why so many people have reported seeing the exact same figure. Maybe it's a subconscious manifestation of a common fear we all have, or maybe it's some type of possession that's driving people to madness. If this video is just a simulation, then I can only imagine how terrifying the real thing must be face to face. Called the Real Exorcist House, the Hinsdale house has been explored by a laundry list of paranormal professionals. Add YouTuber Exploring with Angelo to that list. While using a Ouija board with Jasco, they land on a message they don't want to receive.
Z-E-L? Something?
Oh, no. Put this to goodbye. Goodbye.
What does that mean?
Oh, no.
I don't even know what does that mean?
I get it now. A-Z-A-Z-E-L. Azazel. Azazel.
Oh.
A demon.
A moment later, Angelo starts feeling lightheaded, while Jasco starts feeling something else.
Yo. Really lightheaded all of a sudden. What's going on?
Dude, it literally feels like something is just holding my arm right now. Like,
dude, your hairs are like standing up. Look at that.
It literally,
what the hell? It's like
bro,
static.
Look at my. You could literally see a mark of like something literally around my hand right now.
The tingling lasts for a long time, and Jasco thinks a change of scenery will help.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go outside. I need some air.
Probably for the best.
Holy cow, dude.
Did a demon just enter and try to hold Jasco's hand? If so, I don't think Jasco should allow himself to be led anywhere. Azazel only wants one thing, to steal his soul. While crossing a bridge on a foggy night, this motorist witnessed a live vanishing act. Posted to TikTok, a biker is seen up ahead. The motorist looks right and then left while crossing the bridge. The biker is still in front of him, but he is getting more and more lost in the fog, and then suddenly the biker disappears altogether, even as the fog clears up ahead. Where did he go? Wherever he went, humans were clearly not meant to see it. A Pakistani health and beauty channel called Beautify With Me recently caught a creepy sighting on video that has left them horrified. A hooded figure in black robes is caught on multiple CCTV cameras, haunting the outside of their house. It looks pretty scary until the figure walks by the first camera, at which point you can see they are wearing sneakers or some kind of modern looking footwear that doesn't exactly match the rest of their spooky outfit. Still, this video is a major departure from the rest of their channel, and this is a really weird video to fake a day before Christmas, so maybe it's real. Not necessarily a real ghost video, but maybe a creepy stranger encounter caught on CCTV. Whatever it is, a mysterious figure hasn't shown up on her security cameras since, and hopefully never will.